Test. Friendly Friday, friendly Friday. Welcome, everybody. Great to have you here on this Friendly Friday. I am hatless. I have a spider bite on the back of my head, so surprise, I've got hair, and don't get used to it because I don't generally cut my hair very often, so this is as good as it gets. Happy to see you guys. Yeah, I'm not Hat Boy today. Happy to see you guys, though, today on Friday. Hopefully you're all doing well. I'm just absolutely thrilled to be here for one last day before we get to go enjoy the weekend. How are you guys? I knew it. I think there's been like 2 times I haven't worn a hat, and every time it's met with this reaction. I think what was it? Maybe the debate. I think the presidential debate, and then here. So surprise, surprise, puppy surprise. How many puppies are there inside? It feels like a year ago, but it wasn't. It was like 6 months ago. It just feels like a year because every day with Donald Trump feels like a year. That's probably why. Did not adjust my gift goal, did I? Welcome, everybody. Let me adjust that. As I am adjusting that, that's a good time to remind you guys that we do have a gift goal to keep this going every day. We are growing, and hopefully soon we won't have to be doing gift goals. I look forward to that day. But until we do, I appreciate all the support you guys have given us. John says, Bueller, we're here, John. We're here. Let me pull up those payment apps real quick. We've got PayPal, we've got Venmo, and we've got Cash App, and they are ready for your comments, I believe. Let me double check, make sure I've got them all up. There we go. And we've already started. And if we want to do the dollar train again today, Jocelyn says, looking handsome today. Thank you, Jocelyn. Dollar train, if you send $1, I'll mention your name. $2 or more for a comment. And that way we can keep them separated. But generally speaking, we'll have 1,500 people or so watch these videos. If everybody sends $1, we can crowdfund this, and then Jen won't quit. Rachel sent a message this morning, said Trump's new executive order, anti-Christian bias in the government is unlawful. I was reading it. I mean, to me, it's a performance. It's a nod to the Christians who think that they've been attacked, which sucks. Finally, I thought we were winning this war on Christmas. I thought we had it licked. I thought we finally had this war on Christmas beat, and here we are. We got to start all over because now he's protecting the Christians. So it looks like for the first time in a long time, we're going to be saying Merry Christmas again. It's devastating. I don't know what we do. I don't know what we do with that. I have no idea what we do with that. How do you guys feel knowing we lost the war on Christmas? I don't feel good about it. Let me give you the headlines today. Somebody showed me, what was it? I don't even remember what the source was, but it was like shit that's happening today. Holy airplane or helicopters flew over, shook the whole house. That was wild. Here's the headlines for today. A federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration's deferred resignation program. Senate Democrats held an all-night protest against Russ Vought's confirmation as Director of Office of Management and Budget. That didn't work. Senate Democrats delayed a committee vote on Kash Patel's nomination as FBI Director, as Kash Patel looks to have some questionable business dealings. Cook County in Illinois, the Justice Department sued Chicago, Cook County, and Illinois over their sanctuary laws that limit cooperation with immigration authorities. Trump plans on signing an executive order imposing financial and visa sanctions on International Criminal Court, which he did. Thanks for the sub. Trump announced the formation of a Justice Department-led task force to investigate anti-Christian bias in the federal government, promoted a conspiracy theory that claims the federal government pays billions of dollars to news outlets for positive coverage of Democrats, and most Americans have a favorable view of the federal agencies that Trump is overhauling. 51% of voters have an unfavorable view of Elon Musk. That's the headlines for today. Thank you, Mary, for the super chat. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, Astia Sophia. Happy Friday from Iceland. $2 for the trip. The trip to Iceland is coming along smoothly. I'm looking forward to my trip to Iceland. Hopefully in the summer, though. Charles, thanks for joining the Dollar Train. Appreciate you being here and being on the Dollar Train with us today. All right. Let's get to these stories. I want to show you this first. I actually feel pretty shitty that what is today? Today's the 7th. We've barely discussed Black History Month. We've been so wrapped up in all the shit Trump's doing. We barely discussed it at all, but I just wanted to show you something that I saw today that I thought was cool. Let us never forget Willie Whoop-Ass Johnson, the first black man to whoop a Klansman on camera and not give a fuck. Happy Black History Month. Shout out Willie Whoop-Ass Johnson beating the shit out of that Klansman right there. You love to see it. All Klansmen deserve a punch in the face. Just remember, if you see a Klansman, punch them in the face. That's what they're there for. I'll probably get in trouble for that. Things happen and seem to unhappen in a hurry in the Trump administration. This was a tweet from my friend Derek, but just a reminder that he said, I'd forgotten that one of the hallmarks of any Trump presidency isn't just that things keep happening, but also that things keep unhappening. In the first few weeks, here's a list of things that have happened and then unhappened. We announced 25% North American tariffs. They were paused within a day. Move to end birthright citizenship, struck down by a federal judge. Offered a buyout to federal employees, paused by a federal judge. Issued an OMB memo ordering a temporary pause on grant and loan spending by federal agencies. Federal district judge blocked it. Claimed full access to a critical Treasury Department payment system. Today, a judge signed off on restricting access for Doge employees. So it is good to see our courts functioning as much as they can and doing as much as they possibly can to thwart whatever the fuck this is that's this Trump administration. All right, Jen, I'm in the VC now. Okay, what's next? I want to show this. Kathy Hochul today is announcing shutting down some bird markets, which I was unaware existed. Anybody here from New York? Why do you guys have bird markets in New York? That's weird. Lend me McComas. Don't quit, Jen. We love you. That's true. Please don't quit, Jen. Please don't quit. That would be terrible. Here's Kathy Hochul announcing the shutdown of bird markets in New York.
I want to give an update to New Yorkers on a potential health issue that's been detected in our state. Over the last week, inspectors have detected 7 cases of bird flu in poultry during routine inspections at live bird markets in the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens. Our state Egg and Markets is now working closely with market owners to depopulate all infected flocks. Out of an abundance of caution and to thwart any further transmission, we're issuing a notice and order to temporarily shut down all live bird markets in New York City, as well as in Westchester, Nassau, and Suffolk counties. The order is effective today through next Friday, February 14th. Here's what that means. For a week-long period, no poultry can be delivered to those live bird markets. Each uninfected market must sell down all inventory, undergo thorough cleaning and disinfection, and then remain closed for at least 5 days. Each must then be inspected by our state egg and markets before they can reopen. These are just simply measured, common sense steps that'll curb the spread of bird flu and ultimately to keep New Yorkers safe, which is always my top priority. Now, I want to reiterate that people should not be concerned. Let me be clear, there is no immediate public health threat. We have been vigilant and will remain vigilant so New Yorkers can go about their lives with peace of mind.
Somebody said, here comes the Valley of the Sun, here comes the MAGA outrage. Why can't they have their bird flu? Yeah, yeah, it's already here. In fact, I believe this is, I pulled it from here. They're all saying 15 days to stop the spread. And I would say this, don't argue this with your MAGA friends. Don't argue about the bird flu with them. Encourage them to eat more chicken, specifically chicken from places where there may have been an outbreak. Encourage it. And encourage them to stay tightly knit and close together and breathe into each other's mouths. I think that's the most important thing we can do is encourage them, follow their heart, don't follow the science. Just go about your lives like it's normal. Don't worry, it will be fine. Bird flu is no big deal. Dan Goldman had a
yes, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Dan Goldman had a day yesterday, and Dan Goldman is fed up. This made me laugh because Dan Goldman, who is brilliant, tried to do his job, but by the end of his 5 minutes of allotted time, he was like, fuck it. And I want you guys to see what Dan Goldman said yesterday.
Thank you very much, and I agree. Those in New York City and around the country are very concerned about cyber. We must be operating in la-la land here, having a hearing on preparing the pipeline, examining the state of America's cyber workforce, where we have 3 academics who have been brought in by the majority to talk about the education and training that we need for more cybersecurity employees, while at the same time, the president and his unelected billionaire master are gutting every single executive branch agency.
Yeah, listen, I'm sorry. I was just making a joke about MAGA and the bird flu. I get it. I was just joking on that one. Don't encourage your MAGA friends to get the bird flu because they'll get us all sick.
What's the point of having a pipeline with education if you're taking away all of the jobs? If you're sending unvetted teenagers with no security clearance,
the titty milk boys,
into our various executive branch agencies, allowing them to hack and slash into the government payment systems, the government portals, the government databases, without any regard to cybersecurity, putting them on private servers. And quite obviously, to anyone, whether you're an expert on cybersecurity or not, you understand how that jeopardizes the security of every single American's personal identification information. It provides an opportunity for China, who just executed the largest cybersecurity breach of the federal government ever a couple months ago, to have access to private servers that are so clearly easier to hack into, and we have no idea whether these people have security clearances, whether they got their security clearances because Donald Trump...
All right, we're going to clear this out. We're all joking about bird flu, but make your jokes because they're funny. John says, tell him chicken is better medium rare. That's right.
Passed an executive order saying that he can just bestow security clearances on anyone for 6 months. And so maybe he did that. I mean, maybe it's the same thing as Kash Patel saying that Donald Trump thought about declassifying classified information, and therefore it's declassified. And that's going to be potentially the new FBI director, who is going to oversee counterintelligence and cybersecurity for the FBI. This is a guy who supports the purges at the DOJ and the FBI, who promised the purges at the FBI and DOJ, who lied right, left, and center during his hearing, who has circumvented normal protocol and practices when he was with the National Security Council, when he was with the House Intelligence Committee, when he was with the Department of Defense, who every single former Trump administration official has said is wholly unqualified and dangerous to be in that job. And you want to talk about cybersecurity and recruiting more people? How about we not have heads of executive branch agencies who are jeopardizing our own cybersecurity, who are jeopardizing our own security? How about having some degree of protection over our personal identification information?
Nah.
Who on earth would ever want to join the federal government now? If you are
This guy's clearly, he's stressed out. Yeah. Dan Goldman's had about enough.
Associated with a prosecution that the President of the United States does not like, you will be fired. You will be fired. What law enforcement system in a democracy allows or supports the President of the United States to order the firing of nonpartisan, highly trained law enforcement officers simply because they worked on a case that the president didn't like?
He's talking about the FBI agents. I was reading a lot about this yesterday, and it's fucking crazy that Trump is trying to get rid of FBI agents that worked on January 6th. It is of no fault of their own that they worked on these cases, right? They just, whatever lands on their desk, that's what they do. And somebody was brought up, I think, the fact that there was like 500 of them or 1,500. I can't remember what the number was, that there was an absurd amount of people that were working that case. Yeah, it's because you have to go, like, working that case could be as simple as, hey, you're in our field office in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and we have somebody we've identified that lives in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Can you go interview them? We need to ask them some questions. And since you're an FBI agent in a field office in Cheyenne, Wyoming, you go and you ask that question. And the very fact that you were assigned to go ask that question because you're a field agent in Cheyenne, Wyoming, now you will lose your job. They want to fire anybody who has any knowledge of what they did before. You can call it retribution. You can say whatever you want. I tend to believe it's a little more sinister than that. I tend to believe it has a lot more to do with what they plan on doing in this presidency and knowing what they did in the first presidency and how they went about stoking this type of insurrection. They don't want FBI agents who are familiar with it.
That is banana republic shit. And that does not belong in this country. And what else doesn't belong in this Congress is this stupid hearing where we're talking about educating a workforce where there's no demand for that workforce anymore because Elon Musk is destroying that workforce. It's like we're in La La Land, Mr. Chairman. You're pretending as if reality is not happening down the street and we need more education for cybersecurity. This is a joke. And I hope, at least, Mr. Chairman, if you're going to have hearings on cybersecurity...
The gentleman's time has expired. I now recognize Mr. Ogles for 5 minutes.
Yeah, fuck all of these people in Congress that are Republicans. Literally, fuck every single one of them. They're holding a goddamn hearing on cybersecurity while down the street, they're letting some dude and his gang of titty milk boys just do whatever the fuck they want. And they don't even understand what's going on. They have no clue. Because they're all either fossils or the dumb rednecks that got, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, that got elevated by spouting QAnon nonsense. And now that's our federal government. That's who's in charge. Literally the dumbest among us. That's who's in charge. And I think that is crazy. I do think that that's crazy. I'm going to turn off this light because it's making shadows real quick. Let me get rid of that one. That's better. That looks a lot better. Kept giving me shadows on my shirt. Distracting. I don't know. I don't even understand what the plan is here. Like, it's starting to feel an awful lot like the plan is just like, let's fucking ruin everything. And let's ruin every institution that we have and rebuild. And that sounds crazy until you find out everybody that Trump has brought on board, that's kind of what they want to do. They want to tear it all down. Russ Vought, who was just named Office of Management, he says that democracy has run its course. Democracy in America should be done away with. We can't rely on democracy because democracy doesn't allow the Christians to run everything however the hell they want to run it. Elon Musk and his friends, they don't want democracy. This is the least pro-democracy group of people ever. And I browsed through TikTok yesterday, which is dying, which I love. Shout out to everybody that's here that's not on TikTok right now. TikTok still, they remonetized my account yesterday and yet still won't let me go live using this program. So I don't know what's up with TikTok. But I was browsing through TikTok and just watching, I'll say specifically, it was Older Millennial and Logic and Liberty. And there was a pretty big live, like maybe 700 or 800 people in there. And word for word, just regurgitating the shit that comes out of Republicans' mouths. That it's just lie after lie after lie. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. I have no idea. This isn't politics as usual. This isn't like the right and the left lining up inside and arguing about our nominees, people who should be in office. These are legitimate criminals who want to undo democracy, and Republicans are standing by saying, like, America first. What? What are you guys watching? What are you guys listening to? Where's the part for you? I saw Drew was here. Where's the part for you guys? When is the part that's good coming? Because so far, it's bullshit. The attacks on USAID are literally, all of the things they're saying are lies. Every bit of it. And now we've got people all over this country who are either dumb or they don't pay attention. So they're hearing these stories from Elon Musk and they're like, what's wrong with that? We're cutting foreign aid. The problem isn't that we're cutting foreign aid. None of us have a problem with any of these systems being audited or monitored or having oversight. The problem that we have is there's people that are supposed to do oversight. They're called Congress. And Congress didn't do any oversight. And now Congress is sitting by. It's absolutely insane. Every single day, members of the Republican Congress show up and they get an email and they say, here's your talking points today. And they go out and they repeat lie after lie after lie that Elon Musk is feeding them. And they say things like, oh, look, this is great. Look, this is great. Look at all this funding that we've uncovered. And then it's lies. It's just all lies. One party shows up every day to lie. And Republicans are absolute, unequivocal, cucked cowards. Because you won't stand up for any of this. None of it helps you. You can't explain why your side is lying. You just know it's your side. So you're like, oh, it'll work out in the end. Will it, though? Will it work out in the end? I don't think so. It's not going well, guys. I did want to show you a video. One of my favorite comedians is Namesh Patel. And he has the unfortunate, unfortunate link to Kash Patel because of the last name. And I just wanted Namesh Patel to be able to distance himself from Kash Patel. I want to show you this clip from Namesh Patel.
Let's talk about our main man, Kash Patel, the future director of the FBI. Kash Patel, if you don't know, is the first Patel I've ever encountered where every other Patel was like, nah, fuck that guy. I don't know if you people know anything about Patels, but Patels love other Patels. Like, oh, you're a Patel, I'm a Patel, let's hang out. When I'm on the road and I run into a Patel, there's always like, hey, brother, why don't you come back to my house? My wife will make you dinner. I'm like, I'm not eating your wife's dinner. Let me see a picture. But when they see Kash Patel, like, nah. And he's not from Argonne. We don't know that guy. But I know Cash. Cash is from Garden City, Long Island, which is trash Long Island. And he's got that inferiority complex because he himself also went to Pace University. And so, he's just waiting to put cases on all the people that talk shit to him. I'm just looking forward to seeing some Indian guy getting dragged out of his house because Cash put a case on him for not paying taxes. It's like, "Are kashyap asuje." That's a joke for the Gujarati people. Don't worry about it. I like it. You guys didn't laugh as much, but it's gonna do numbers on WhatsApp.
Nimesh Patel's incredible. It's gonna do numbers on WhatsApp is wild. Ashley says data gets stolen every fucking day in America. It happens. My bank account was broken into not that long ago, but scams and data being stolen is nothing new. That was the response from a Trump lover about having Elon having our info. Yeah, that was Texas' response too. That was Drew's response. Every Republican is just like, bad shit's happening. They're like, yeah, well, like, bad shit happens. I bet the person who got their account broken into wasn't like, no, it happens. Let's not prosecute this guy. We're not going to prosecute this guy. That shit just happens. It's fine. Brianna says, fuck Mary Banish, Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, John Kennedy. All right, well, listen, I'm going to fuck Lindsey Graham because I have it on good authority that he knows his way around a penis.
You like ladybugs, I'm guessing.
That's right.
Fan.
That's right. Lady G. This is the tough one then. Marrying and banish. There might be a way around this. Yeah, never mind. I mean, I'm taking it back. I'm marrying Lindsey Graham. I'm fucking Ted Cruz, and I'm recording it, and then I'm putting it on Twitter because it's free speech. So I'm putting it on Twitter, and this is hard. I'm going back on it already. I'm marrying John Kennedy, but I'm going to hide his keys so he can't go anywhere. Ted Cruz gets banished. Lindsey gets the one-nighter because, again, he knows his way. Yeah, that's what we're going. Kennedy is getting married. I'm hiding his keys. You'll never see him again. And I'll get rid of MapQuest off his phone, and then he won't be able to get around. That's what we're doing. I do think Lindsey would be a delicate lover. I agree with that. I think generous, probably.
You think he's got MapQuest? He's still using that paper map. That's why he can't drive well.
No, I know. I heard that for Christmas somebody gave him a MapQuest subscription. So, Tony Danza says, "I'll bet MAGA $100 they won't eat chicken tartare." It's not medical advice, and we don't think that's funny. Go ahead, Jen. Welcome. Happy Friday.
Oh shit! Am I still here?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay,
I think you just said
closed
shit
something out
though. That was cool.
Yeah, I know. I thought I closed my Discord. I thought I closed out of it completely, but I didn't. Anyway, so I was just hopping in a little earlier. So you guys see, we've got a gift goal. We've got to hit that number by the end of the show. We got about 3 hours left. We finish around 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Super Chats, any of that will help us get to the goal. So if you guys can knock that out so we can, not stress out for the rest of the day, that'd be great. If you haven't subscribed to us either on Twitch or YouTube, please do so. We've got, on Twitch, you can use your Prime sub and use Bezos' money. And over on YouTube, there's, I think, 4 memberships that you can sign up for. You have to go to the main page and click join to do that. So that's how we're going to be able to keep the show going every day, Monday to Friday. Did you realize a couple of people were asking about what happened to your head? Kind of like it's egg-shaped, going with the chicken theme.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. Because why? What are they saying about my head?
Just that your head's a little egg-shaped. Kind of. Is that part of the chicken theme for today?
I think it's like a receding hairline. I did get stuck in the birth canal a bit. I've never been told my head was egg-shaped before. I didn't know that. This is Now I'm going to be insecure the whole time. That's great.
You're welcome.
I have a spider bite on the back of my head, and it hurts to have a hat on. So that's
Are you
why
sure it's a spider bite, not like an ingrown hair?
No, I'm not sure, but ingrown hair usually only happens after I cut my hair. I haven't done that for a while, so.
Got it. Well, anyway, so if you want an invite to the Discord, you can send any mod message. We can get you an invite if you want to join. And we've got merch, so there's a link tree that you guys can click on. We've got other links for other socials, our merch, all that kind of good stuff. Did I ever tell you I was a server in college?
You did not.
So I had a customer ask me how we prepared the chicken. And I
Okay.
told him nothing special. We just tell them they're going to die.
Just wear a beanie, Jamar says. I'm not Tim Pool, Jamar. I don't even know if I have a beanie. Oh no, I have a beanie. I have a golf beanie. You want me to go get? I can go get the beanie. If it troubles people too much longer, I'll put on a beanie for the second half of the show. We'll we'll do it that way. I haven't. I cut my hair with a Flowbee, so do my own haircuts there. All right. Play this video for you guys real quick. This is from Straight Arrow News.
A federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration's offer to buy out nearly 2 million federal employees. The judge's ruling requires the administration to extend the deadline to...
It's hard. Look at that guy's hair. It's hard to have hair and then see freaking full head there. I think I've got maybe like 4 or 5 years left of hair. This dude has 3 lifetimes left of hair.
Accept the deal from Thursday, February 6th until after Monday, February 10th, when there's going to be another hearing. 3 labor unions, including the American Federation of Government Employees, sued the Trump administration, arguing the buyouts violate federal law and are arbitrary and capricious. The White House says more than 40,000 employees agreed to take the deal. That's 1/5 of the 200,000 they expected. The offer will allow employees to resign but keep their pay and benefits until September.
We encourage federal workers in this city to accept the very generous offer. If they don't want to show up to the office, if they want to rip the American people off, then they're welcome.
I'm sorry. I just shit. I was muted. She pisses me off every time she opens her fucking mouth. And Republicans, you guys are pissing me off too. Why do you want everybody to not have jobs? Why are you guys doing this right now? You're sitting around like jerking it to rich people, firing poor people. Oh, that's dope, man. Fired another person today, convinced somebody else to quit today. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is embarrassing. You guys you're selling out to billionaires for no reason. Well, I really hope what I really want is our government to come to a grinding halt. Why? Why? You know what'll happen if our government comes to a grinding halt? We'll have to rehire all these people, and then they'll increase your taxes. And then they'll say, well, we can't increase the taxes on the rich people because they're the job suppliers. And so the job suppliers need to keep their tax break. And they will get bailed out, and you will pay for it. None of this helps you. None of this is good for you. None of this is good for the country. This is good for a handful of people looking to get a tax cut from Donald Trump. That's all this is. And you guys are like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. I could not believe listening to MAGA Live yesterday. And I know some of the people on that live. And I know some of the people on that live don't have a lot of money. And they're like, dude, this is so cool. Dude, I fucking love it, dude. Finally, America first. America first? Bitch, you're poor. The fuck are you guys talking about? You are poor. If you are not in the 1%, they're fighting against you, and you're just sitting there like, oh, this is, oh, dude, I hope Elon gets to 1 trillion soon. If he gets to 1 trillion, I'm going to finish. This is crazy. Also, that's a dog shit outfit. Where are you going to a funeral? Probably her husband's like 1 trillion. Maybe she's just always prepared.
Welcome to take this buyout, and we'll find highly competent individuals who want to fill these roles.
Democrats on Capitol Hill are warning employees not to take the deal because they don't think the Trump administration has the authority to pay people who aren't working.
I've been saying to all the federal employees, beware of this offer.
Yeah, good point. Who said that? Marlene. Hey, Marlene. Happy Friday. They act like remote work isn't real work. Like, if you're doing remote work, then you're not really working. All right, well, explain to me why Trump's at Mar-a-Lago all the fucking time. Explain to me why Elon Musk is in D.C. now. He has 2 companies to run. He's never at those companies. He's in an office with his titty milk boys doing remote work. They're all doing remote work. They've got a server so that they don't have to go building to building, so they can remotely access the information, so they can do remote work while they're trashing remote work. Guys, wake the fuck up. You can't be this dumb. Republicans, you cannot be this dumb. I know you guys liked Trump, and I know you guys played dumb for the entire election, and you pretended like, oh no, Project 2025, that's not coming. Trump's gonna end that war on day 1. I know you guys lied to yourselves about that. Fine, we'll let that slide. Stop being dumb, though. You were only supposed to be dumb until the election. Then you were supposed to stop being dumb. And you're like, no, we're gonna go with it. We really like this. The remote workers are firing the remote workers, saying we can't have remote work. All of these people have other jobs that they're supposed to be doing right now, that they're getting paid for, that they're not doing, so they can come in here and cut remote workers. Wake up.
I don't believe it's been funded. I don't believe Donald Trump has any history of ever paying his bills. And I fear that federal employees may be marked for later riffing, potentially without any compensation.
To resign, workers must sign a contract that says they waive their right to sue the government.
Let's skip that. Yeah, they stole the exact wording from Elon, and they just like copy and pasted it over. I just want you guys to be better, honestly. Like, it would be nice to get back to arguing about like policy. I know that Donald Trump helps everybody's viewers. I'm sure it helps me. I probably am more visible during a Trump presidency than I would be during a Marco Rubio presidency. But like, I'm cool with it. Could we get back to policy at some point? And my other question is to you, like, do you just not want the Republicans in Congress to do anything? You just want them to sit there and do nothing? Is that that's the hope? Did you vote for people in Congress to just do nothing and just have Trump write all the laws? I think you maybe did. I know Tiny Dick. I heard Tiny Dick was back today. I know you did, but like, you're dumb, and that makes sense. You need people to lead you around with a leash. Like, having your own thoughts are not really your thing there. I'm just gonna go back to this political shit. Politico thing. We talked about it yesterday, but I keep hearing Republicans repeat it, meaning that the message apparently isn't getting out there. We did not give $8 million to Politico. The incident began with 2 unrelated events. On Tuesday, staffers at Politico reported that the company had missed payroll. Those issues were resolved later that day. Separately, Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency team were in the middle of gutting USAID, freezing its operations and spending under the guise of reviewing how money was being spent. Posters on X, however, and Elon saw something more nefarious about both facts. It couldn't just be a coincidence, they said, that Politico wasn't paying its staff after USAID money stopped flowing, which it didn't. They didn't stop the flow of that money because I will explain it, but they didn't stop the flow of that money. But Republicans are dumb, so they don't know that. They think that they stopped the flow of that money. The more likely explanation, they concluded, was that the news organization was dependent on some kind of USAID money and that federal funding had been funneled to mainstream news organizations for better coverage and to attack Trump and Musk. Just a reminder, though, we've looked this up. Federal agencies, included but not limited to USAID, had paid $8.2 million last year for subscriptions to the news organization's Political Pro service, a paywalled news, legislation, and research database that plenty of industry professionals, corporations, and government staffers find useful. Remember when people are like, the government's not efficient, we should privatize things. This is an example of that. Politico privatized and offered a subscription service so that you can track news, legislation, and there's a big research database, because our government is not very good at creating websites that are searchable and easily navigable. And so Politico saw an opportunity for that and did free market capitalism, that shit you guys are supposed to love, and everybody across the aisle started paying for it because it was way better than what our government did. But then you're like, oh no, they report true things about people on the right. Now Politico's a bad guy. Now free market capitalism is a bad thing. Now we shouldn't do this. By the way, those payments were everything the entire federal government had paid, and USAID's expenditure was $44,000. Out of $88.2 million, $44,000 of that came from USAID for a couple of subscriptions over 2 years. And they weren't subsidies, grants, or gifts. They were normal transactions, paying the subscription costs for the services that Politico Pro offers. That's what this was. So now the people in USAID have lost a resource that works very well and that they enjoy using and makes their job easier. And now they don't have that resource anymore because Elon Musk's like, I don't like Politico. They say bad things about me. And Republicans just went, oh yeah, Elon. They had to take Trump's dick out of their mouth. Oh yeah, Elon, that's true. That's true. We should definitely defund them. Just be better. Like, it feels like playing a game of chess where the other person is just like they're blind and they're king me. This is not checkers, bitch. It's not. We're playing two different games, and the game you guys are playing is just like open your mouth like little baby birds and let Elon and Donald Trump put whatever they want in there. And don't worry, because you'll regurgitate it. You'll just spit it right back out. They said that the USAID is making trans people in Slovenia. They're turning all the Slovenians trans, and they gave $48 trillion to the Slovenian government to make people trans. You guys are so fucking afraid of trans people and wokeness that you are the most easily manipulated human beings on earth. They're gutting the government. They're gutting aid. They're gutting functionality. And the reason they're doing it is because they want the government to break. That's their plan. They've all not even behind closed doors, they have all said they want to destroy our government. Every one of them. And you think that they were just teasing. They're just teasing about that. They don't really want to destroy our government, even though they're coming in and dismantling our government. You guys want to live in a Christian nationalist police state? Because that's where we're fucking getting. Palantir, along with Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Peter Thiel, what are they going to do? They're going to surveil the shit out of you. And now they're saying, we're going to give protections. We're going to give religious protections to people. But those religious protections, those are only for Christians. If you're an atheist, you're fucked. Heaven forbid you're a Muslim. Oh, no. For my Mormon friends, they don't think you're Christians. Enjoy it. All the Mormons that voted for Trump, eventually you're on the chopping block too. They're literally doing Christian nationalism. They're making Christianity the pillar, like a pillar of our government, and then they're collapsing everything else. They're doing what they said, and we can't convince you. It's absolutely insane. We would like to fundamentally undo the government because we believe democracy is dead. And Republicans are like, we love democracy. We're protecting the Constitution. So we're going to bring in everybody who said they want to undo the Constitution. And then you sit there and pretend you're freedom-loving. You're not freedom-loving. Most of you are just scared. Most Republicans, that's just their life. They're just afraid of everything. They're afraid of change. They're afraid of the internet. They're afraid of gender. They're afraid. There's nothing that they're not afraid of. And so this is just, they're the most easily manipulated people because they're just totally led by fear. So they'll overlook anything, including this, including a bunch of people dismantling the government. And some of these Republicans used to have a little bit of courage, including Marco Rubio. When Marco Rubio ran for president, he was like the only effective person going after Trump, the only one. And even Marco Rubio, with all his principles and all his bravado, turned into a cuck.
Let me tell you something. I will never quit. I will never stop until we keep a con man from taking over the party of Reagan and the conservative movement. He's a con man. He's a con man. He's a con man. I'll tell you why. Number one, look, people are angry and frustrated and scared about the future. Okay? People are working harder than they've ever worked in their lives, and they're running in place. And he swoops in and is taking advantage of that. He's taking advantage of that. He's telling people, I'm going to fight for the little guy. I'm fighting for the working class. Here's what he doesn't tell them. He has spent a career in business, 50 years, sticking it to the little guy. Sticking it to the little guy. When his companies went bankrupt, the first people that didn't get paid were the subcontractors, the plumbers and the pipe fitters and the people that laid bricks and all those people that worked for a living. They didn't get paid. He got his money. They didn't get theirs. He's going around telling people, oh, I'm fighting to keep other countries from taking our jobs. What is he talking about? You ever bought a Trump tie? If you buy a Trump tie, you're not just getting a tacky tie. You're buying a tie made in China or in Mexico. He portrays himself as the strongest guy on illegal immigration. That's fine, but Trump Tower was built by illegal immigrants from Poland, who he paid $4 an hour, 12 hours a day. Okay, a judge found that he was involved in a conspiracy to defraud these workers of their pay. Even now in Florida, he has a hotel or something down there. And 300 Americans have applied for jobs at that hotel. All of them got turned down. Instead, he brings workers from other countries. He acts like he's some sort of tough guy. He's not a tough guy. This is the first guy that asked for Secret Service protection. First guy. The other day, he told the protester, I wish I could punch you in the face. Donald Trump has never punched anyone in the face, okay?
Yeah. Everybody saw through him. Everybody did. And the difference between Marco Rubio and maybe somebody like Mitt Romney, maybe Adam Kinzinger, is that some of them didn't cave. And maybe Marco can tell himself every morning, like, hey, I know he's a fraud, but as long as I'm here, I can stand in the way. And I suspect that that's what Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell tell themselves. I'm sure it is. But the reality is the reason that they do this is because they can't beat him in the Republican Party, because nobody else will stand with them. They've all just decided to be little cucks. To who? God damn, man. You're worshiping an 80-year-old guy who's been bailed out by his dad his entire life, was going bankrupt, got bailed out by a TV producer who created a show that gave Donald Trump licensing. And then when Donald Trump was bleeding money for that and he was about to have to sell off all his assets, he ran for president and he used the office to save his fortune one more time. And you guys think he's great. And none of you guys thought he was great before he ran for president. Nobody wanted him to run for president. He was polling at like 3%. They had to fake polls in order to get the momentum going. They just kept lying about what he did and what the poll numbers said. And they manufactured this story that Donald Trump somehow went from this liberal to understanding real things, and now he's a Christian. And you guys just fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I would trade Marco Rubio for Donald Trump any day of the week. And we would argue with Marco Rubio, but we would be arguing over policy. We'd be arguing over tax cuts. We'd be arguing over healthcare. We'd be arguing over foreign affairs. We'd be arguing over things that impact everyday Americans. What we wouldn't be arguing about is how come there's all these people that aren't elected and aren't bureaucrats telling everybody in the government what to do, including Congress? I mean, have some fucking self-respect, guys. Just a little. Why do you think Elon Musk knows how to do any of this shit? Elon Musk has no idea how our government functions. None. I've never heard Elon Musk explain anything that sounds like he understands how our federal government works. He is a cut, slash, and gut guy. That's what he does. He pulls every bit of capital that he can out of his companies to enrich himself. And our government doesn't have capital. Our government is not for profit. So right now they're talking about cutting $100 a month out of people's Social Security. going from $1,700 a month to $1,600 a month. And that might seem to our Republican friends that are here, that might seem like nothing. But most people living on Social Security live paycheck to paycheck. Some of them, a lot of them, $1,700 isn't enough. Maybe they have a family that can help them out. Maybe they have some savings. But for those people living on $1,700 a month, $100 could be death. It could literally be, I can't afford my medication anymore. And medication is going to increase because Trump's pulling away all those protections. All that stuff we did to protect ourselves from the big pharmaceutical companies just raking us over the coals, he's pulling those protections. So medications are going to go up. This is literally people dying all over, not just in America, all over the world. And Republicans are sitting there going, well, we can't,
Thanks for the sub.
We can't afford it. We just can't afford it. We don't have the money. Why don't we have the money? Because we won't tax people. We don't tax people appropriately. And yes, we also fund things that we shouldn't fund, including military invasions, including paying for private militaries and staging coups all over the world. But I don't hear shit about Republicans right now. I don't hear you guys complaining about the millions of dollars it costs us to stage troops at the border as a fucking publicity stunt. None of you care about that. You want me to care about $44,000 that USAID gave to Politico, and you guys, they pulled $44,000 from Politico. Amazing. Okay, millions of dollars are being wasted at the border right now for a political stunt, for a photo op. What about all the money? What about all the money that's going to Mar-a-Lago for all these Republicans that keep going down there? Where's that waste? How about these Republicans in Congress who show up every day and don't pass any bills? Is that not waste? But no, it's the $44,000 going to Politico. That's the part that we really, really need to be afraid of. Text said, read the Yee tweets. Pass. You can send them to me if you want. I don't give a shit what Kanye says. Yay tweets. I said Yee. That was weird. Jamar said, I think I read this one maybe already. I'm not sure. Jamar says, does the carpet match the drapes? Also, did a spider bite you down there, or are you just happy to see Bree? Yeah, it's probably the same color. It's probably relatively similar. Probably closer to my beard color. Ash said, did you know I'm an electrician by trade? I know. Most people were shocked. Below me are the Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. It would be our honor if you would help support us. You can even just join the dollar train. If everybody sends $1, we knock out this goal. I'll add that up here just a second. Let me play this clip. I'll add it up during then. Where is it? Here it is. Super Bowl Sunday. We got Travis Kelce. I probably have a different take on this than some of you, but here was Travis Kelce being asked about whether or not Trump should, if he's excited that Trump's going to be at the Super Bowl.
So you tell us what your reaction was to finding out the president would be at the game on Sunday?
That's awesome. It's a great honor. I think, no matter who the president is, I know I'm excited because it's the biggest game of my life, and having the president there, it's the best country in the world. So it'd be pretty cool.
No, it's kind of hard to hear, but the reason I played that is because I've seen the reaction. I actually saw another TikTok live yesterday. Again, first time I've been on TikTok in a while, and I saw people eviscerating Travis Kelce, and I just want to say, can we knock that shit off? Can we not eviscerate athletes for the most lukewarm takes in the history of the world? That was a good take. See, some of you are mad. That's a good take. There's nothing wrong with what he just said there. It's the biggest game of my life. Anytime the president comes, you should be honored. That's the right take. Okay? Let's not eviscerate people who don't understand what's going on. He's got a bunch of other shit going on. He doesn't know. Can we not cancel everybody? This isn't good for us. The fact that people are turning on Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift during this time, that's not good for us. Taylor Swift put a target on her back during the election to stand with us. Can we not do this? That's the most lukewarm take you could possibly have. It was the right take. What he said was the right thing. Please, can we stop canceling everybody's? No, because I've seen many POC players say, I'm not excited about him being there. But who cares? Goddamn, like we don't need to split over everything. We don't have to do that. Please. It's not effective. It's not good. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for our country. It's not good for anything. That's the most lukewarm take. Yeah, but this is the thing, Curvy Chronicle. I have to disagree. It's because his answer regarding Trump. It's because he should stand for his girlfriend. Do you think he knows? Do you think Travis Kelce knows what's going on? Honestly, do you think he knows? Probably not, right? We can't hold everybody to the same standard as those of us who consume this every single day. It's like saying you can't watch the Super Bowl because you don't understand defensive coverages. Okay, some people aren't involved. But what happens if we go after Travis Kelce and for that? Where do you think that pushes him and the fans? What does that make us look like? It makes us look like we will cancel anybody who doesn't agree with us on everything. It's not a fight worth having. So we have to pick our battles there. It just sucked. Like, I hated that I saw it. I hated that I saw people saying that we should cancel Taylor Swift. I hate all of this. We got to knock that shit out. Travis Kelce has been somebody in sports. It's a white guy in sports who took a lukewarm stand. I'm a Niners fan. I got the Bosa. Okay, I've got a guy like wearing a MAGA hat on TV. That's when you do the criticism. Save it for the people who deserve it, who should know better, or who take a stand. That was just lukewarm. Yeah, ignorance is bliss. Goddamn, man. Look, I understand people are outraged. I'm outraged too. But when people say that this is kind of why we lose, and when we lose people from the middle and they shift right, it's because they got canceled for something they don't really understand. And this is a dumb one. This is a really, really dumb one to go after Travis Kelce for this. This is just us in our feelings. And it's hard. I understand this on a visceral level with my friends and families. You're constantly saying, like, why can't you guys understand this? Most people don't care. Most people aren't engaged. Most people don't know. Most people hear the USAID story and they're like, oh, they're just cutting aid. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't think we have to pay for everybody. That's a lukewarm take with not enough information. Yeah, I mean, whatever. You guys can keep defending it if you want, I guess. I think some of us are way too ready to cancel. What was this one? Sometimes I put bad headlines. Oh, I wanted to look at this. Once again, going back to the aid cuts. This is the amount of money that we plan on losing from the tax cuts. This is the fiscal impact of Trump's reported tax priorities for the next 9 years. Extending the Tax Cut and Jobs Act on the low end will cost us $4 trillion. On the high end, $4.8 trillion. SALT relief on the low end, $200 billion, high end, $1.2 trillion. Cut taxes on tips, $100 billion to $550 billion. Cut taxes on overtime pay, $250 to $3.3 trillion. Tax on Social Security, $500 billion to $1.5 trillion, for a total of $11.2 trillion. That's $1 trillion a year in revenue that we will lose. We could cut this stuff and not do the tax cuts and essentially make an extra $11 trillion over the course of those years. What if we cut the deficit by $1 trillion every single year just by not cutting taxes? We could cut our deficit by $1 trillion every year if we just taxed people appropriately. I don't think he should be canceled, but it's a patriarchy issue to me. Men constantly respect other men over their wives and girlfriends. What did you want him to do, Haley? What did you want him to do right there? He doesn't know anything. I don't think I think if you ask Taylor Swift, like, is Travis Kelce supportive, I bet she would say yes. Everything about that guy says he's a loving, dutiful, loyal boyfriend. I've seen the videos of them together. I see him support her. I see her support him. Like, that's a good relationship. That's a relationship that people should look at as a healthy relationship. And we're going to tear him down because he took a lukewarm stance on Trump coming to the game. That was it. Just coming to the game. I don't think that's I don't think that's the right messaging on our side there. Okay. All right. I was made aware of this morning. There's a on AP they have like I forget what it was called. If Britt's here, Britt can tell you what this is called. It's a section of AP and that I didn't know existed, and it's basically just like kind of like silly stuff. And I'll play this video first, but out of context, I just want to show you this picture. I just want you guys to see this picture real quick before I show you what the video is. Can anybody tell me what this is? I would like, by the way, that does look like Elon Musk. Just somebody tell me what this is. Anybody? Somebody got it right. Somebody knows. Duck calling. It's a deer calling contest. Throat goat. Gonna get that throat coat. Let me show you. Oh, we got an ad here. Thanks, Wall Street.
Unlimited access to WSJ. Choose.
This is a deer calling competition, a stag calling competition in Germany. I appreciate that pan up. Somebody explain to me why this cameraman needed to do this pan up there. Where was it? Why? Why did they do that? Why was this? First of all, try and tell me that's not Elon Musk. He's doing remote work again. Rank it like it's a puppet show.
The stag calling for me, it's the fascinating thing is to play with the stags in the rut.
Why is that Elon? That's Elon, right?
And look if they are coming, if they are not coming, and what they do and what they will do, and that's fascinating. I don't know. I don't know. There you go. There a couple of throat goats there, just dominating the stag calling. I don't know if it's a competition. Is that what you call it? A stag calling competition? Let's see here. I don't remember what this was. One of the Titty Milk boys, this guy right here, his name's Marco Elez, or Elez. I don't know how to say that. He quit. He quit because it turns out that, surprise, surprise, these Elon fanboys are racist, white supremacists. Surprise! Who could have guessed? Who could have seen it coming? They found his some old quotes. They said the user appeared to have a special dislike for Indian software engineers, the H-1B folks. 99% of Indian H-1Bs will be replaced by slightly smarter LLMs. They're going back. Don't worry, guys. The user posted in December of this last year. December. This wasn't like forever ago. I want it to be clear. This wasn't a long time ago. Just for the record, I was racist before it was cool in July. Remember, all these people think racism is cool. Like, it's acceptable. In June, he weighed in on the conflict in the Middle East, offering some sympathy for Israel, but also posting, "I would not mind at all if Gaza and Israel were both wiped off the face of the earth." The Knoll PTR account previously went by the username Marco Alez, and that's how they were able to find this. So this person quits under pressure, and I think, like most of America, thought, "Yeah, that's a good thing." That's I didn't see any pushback from Republicans at all yesterday. At least the ones that I interact with. And then there was some pushback. As J.D. Vance says, here's my view. I obviously disagree with some of Alez's posts, but I don't think stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life. We shouldn't reward journalists who try to destroy people ever. So I say, bring him back. Yeah, bring back the fucking racist kid. Bring him back. We got to have the racist back. How come they're always so soft on racists? Because they're racist. That's why. If this person had said like disparaging things about Christians, they'd be like, throw them in the gulags, go to Guantanamo, bring back the death penalty. If he had been like, hey, I think Christians are kind of like thin-skinned bitches, he'd be furious. They would demand the firing right then and there. But if he's like, yeah, like I just like racism's cool. I like being racist. Then they're like, I don't think saying something like that should ruin a kid's life. Fuck J.D. Vance. Like J.D. Vance is disgusting. J.D. Vance is such an unbelievable phony too. I don't know why people remember during the election and people were like, I like J.D. He's very, he just seems like a real chill guy. You don't ignore crazy shit, racist shit. That's why I don't like religious leaders. Because if you're a religious person, let's say I'm going to use my faith as a former Mormon. There are rules within the Mormon church. You got to be honest, right? We follow the Bible. We don't drink coffee. We can't smoke cigarettes. We don't have sex before marriage. We believe that you have to dress modestly. We don't buy anything on Sunday. We don't watch rated R movies. All these things, right? And all these things are part of people's religion. But what was interesting about in Utah is if a Mormon gets caught doing something, or a member of the Mormon church or a leader in the Mormon church, they get caught doing something, they always separate the two. They're like, well, there's my personal values, and then there's my view of the real world. And interestingly enough, it almost always comes at the expense of some victim. Some religious person says, personally, I'm against this, but because I like free speech, and they always side with usually a white person, always a Christian. But if you hear a Muslim or an atheist do anything, they completely change their tune, completely change the narrative, which is crazy. Like, as an atheist, you can't hold me to a standard. There's no book of atheism. You can't hold me to that standard. The only thing you can hold me to is the things that I say I believe in. And Christians, they have a book that you can hold them to, and you can have what they say they believe in that you hold them to, but they're like, no. That's only in my private life. That's only my faith. In my real life, I can be a scumbag piece of shit because I understand that the world and my faith are different. So I can just ignore genocide happening in Palestine because I understand that we live in the real world, right? And these are people that hate each other, and sometimes you just have to be violent. But personally, I would never do a genocide. That's why I don't like. That's why I don't trust Christian, specifically conservative Christian politicians, because everything conservatives seem to stand for is anti what the Bible says. All of your heroes are rich people, every one of them. Everybody who leads your party is filthy rich, and everything your party does benefits rich people. There's nothing you do for the poor. There's nothing you do for the weary traveler. There's nothing you do for people who are marginalized. Everything you do protects rich people, and then you hide behind your religion. I cannot stand Christian conservatives because the two philosophies are at odds with each other.
And I don't get it. They're literally like, we're going to set up laws to protect Christians. From what? What do you guys need protection from? Meanwhile, you're like, yeah, let's take mothers who are 8 months pregnant, who are here illegally. Let's throw them on a plane that could throw them into a miscarriage or throw them into birth. And let's throw them on a plane and let's send them to Colombia. I know from when we had a child, I don't remember what it was, but at a certain time during your pregnancy, you don't fly anymore. It's not safe to fly anymore. 8 months pregnant, fuck it. Republicans will throw it. Well, they shouldn't have been here. Yeah, there's just never any compassion. Like, every bit of compassion that you have seems to be bullshit when you vote for a Republican. Because again, it's your vote. It's your vote. It's your support for the things that are happening. And I just don't get it. On that, every Christian should be a socialist. Christianity, the Bible, that's socialism. All of you should be socialists. And yet the overwhelming majority of Christians in this country are conservatives. You are the Romans. You are the people collecting money in the temple. You are the people that Jesus came in and overturned the tables from. You are the people that Jesus was pointing to and said it is easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. And you're like, great, love it. Let's support just rich people then. Let's just make sure the rich people are taken care of. Because I think that very few Christian conservatives worship God. They worship money, and they claim that they worship God, and they hide behind their worship of God. And they hide behind even simple things like the stuff that they do good. Like, I wouldn't help these poor people if it wasn't for charity. Like, I came down with my church and we worked at a soup kitchen. I wouldn't have done it without that. Are you sure? Are you sure? One of the things that was interesting to me is leaving Christianity is that it became more painful for me to lie. As a Christian, like, I got so used to lying about who I was because of my beliefs. Like, specifically, we call it the law of chastity, right? Like, I didn't keep all the rules. But I didn't tell anybody that I didn't keep the rules. So publicly, I was a Mormon. I was devout. I was a Mormon missionary. I was knocking on doors telling people this is the way. And privately, I failed in a lot of those ways. And because you don't have the autonomy to come out openly and say, yes, I know this is the teaching, but this is, I don't really do that. It turns you into a liar. And then you just get used to lying. Well, if you tell one lie, it leads to another. Did anybody have Safety Kids tapes when you were growing up? We had those. And so when I was no longer religious, it was interesting because, like, lying becomes a lot more difficult. Because when you don't have a belief system, your principles are yours. You created them. You chose them. They're something that you feel, and you feel they are a direct reflection of you. And so going against your principles becomes more difficult. And I'm not saying I tell the truth all the time. Like, I certainly I lie, but it hurts a lot more. It's a lot harder for me. And in fact, part of like the damage that's been done to relationships with me and my family is I no longer could just hold that shit in. I couldn't hold in the lies anymore. I couldn't pretend that I supported something that I didn't support. And I couldn't sit there and watch my family support things that were, in my opinion, evil. And that was a problem for them, because when you point that out, like I think I've told you this to my mom, or I've told you this conversation with my mom when she said she voted for Trump because of Mike Pence, which was bizarre because Mike Pence was gone. I was like, how? How did you go into a voting booth knowing who you are, knowing your religious beliefs, knowing everything that you value and everything you've told me in 39 years that you valued? How did you walk into a booth and fill in a box next to a guy who rapes people? She's like, I don't think we're going to find common ground on this. Right? Like, she just immediately was like, oh no, this is a separation. Politics and my beliefs, that's a separation. I can vote for a rapist. I can do it. I can do it because there were other things more important, like the war on Christmas. And that's why I don't like these Christian politicians. That's why I have a hard time with politicians who are overtly Christian, who justify everything through Christianity. Because everybody with the big cross, everybody, don't. It's hard. It's gonna be pretty damn hard to find me a Christian with a big cross who isn't just like a transphobe, right? Who isn't a little bit, who doesn't support things like undoing DEI. They got this big ass cross while they're just saying that other people are subhuman. It's glitching. Refresh the browser and come back in. Sorry, guys. If it's glitching, it's not glitching on my end. It looks good. So sometimes you just have to pop out and back in. Speaking of which, there's a website called Floodlit, and this is some of you won't care about this. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but I just wanted to bring it up because I was pissed earlier. This is a story. Floodlit is a database that covers specific. I don't know if it's all abuse, but they track all the abuse cases from the Mormon Church. If I remember, in fact, let me do this. Let me open it in a new tab. This is currently the database that they have for the Mormon Church. There's 584 offenders of sexual abuse in 45 states, 6 countries. The LDS Church has paid out $270 million after leaders failed to report abuse or support victims. 65 current ongoing criminal cases, 109 ongoing civil cases, 186 instances where Mormon leaders allegedly failed to report sexual abuse allegations to law enforcement. While we're defunding things, while we're talking about human trafficking, while we're talking about sexual abuse of children, can we defund the Mormon Church, please? They have $100 billion in a fund, and they have perpetuated violence against children, and they have covered up violence against children for decades. This story just came out, but it's from 1984, and I want to tell you something about your Mormon friends that you may not know, because Mormons have abandoned one of these practices, and this practice was abandoned because they kept having all these creepy-ass Christians molesting people. John Doe, real name unknown, was a Mormon temple worker in Los Angeles, California. Those big churches with the steeple and the guy on top, all those big beautiful buildings, those are called temples, not churches. So if you go in order to go into a Mormon temple, you have to have a recommend. You have to be at least 12 years old to get to parts of it, and then 19 years old or so to get to another part. You have to go interview with your bishop. You have to answer questions about your sexual purity. Do you pay the church money? Do you drink alcohol? Are you honest? A whole bunch of questions. And when you answer those questions, then you can go to the temple. So not all Mormons can go to those temples, just ones that have a recommend. So this person, this is their first time going to the temple, and they're a convert to the church. When you're a convert to the church, they don't tell you the whole story. They have a list of discussions. They don't tell you everything, and they certainly don't tell you what's going to happen the first time you go to the temple. So this is this person who converts to a new religion, going to the temple the first time. Says man was sexually assaulted by a church volunteer during an anointing ceremony. Your first time going through the temple, you go through what's called washing and anointing. They'll explain part of it here. 2 temple workers are referred to in the complaint. We'll call them Doe 1 and Doe 2. Doe 1 was a temple worker who performed William's temple anointing, during which he allegedly sexually assaulted William. Doe 2 was another temple worker who was there and watched. William was 19 years old at the time. He went to the temple to get anointed. The complaint describes the anointing ceremony as a religious service within the LDS Church where pure oil is placed on the head of a member of the LDS Church in order to receive a blessing. I think I've told you guys about that before. Yes, thank you. Trigger warning. Thank you. I think I've told you about that before. Most Mormon men with the priesthood, they have like a vial that they'll carry with them all the time. It has olive oil in it, and they've said a special prayer to make that magic. Olive oil, and you use that olive oil if you're going to give somebody a blessing for their health or whatever. You put it on their head, then you put your hands on their head, you do the blessing. At the time, William was a new member of the church. When William arrived at the temple, Doe 2 led William to a locker where he was instructed to undress before being given a white poncho to put on. So you get completely naked and you put on, I don't know, poncho's the wrong word. It's more like a robe that you put on. And then you are completely naked under the robe. It doesn't zip up. It's just you hold it there. Let's see. After undressing, Doe 2 led William into another room where Doe 1 was waiting.
Doe 1 was an older man who held a leadership role within the church. He proceeded to rub oil on William's body while whispering things that William could not hear. Under the pretense of performing a blessing, Doe put his hands under his poncho and fondled William's genitals. Doe 2 was present in the room while this took place. The complaint says this abuse took place. The abuse was in full view of Doe 2. Now, Mormons will tell you that this is unusual. They will tell you that this doesn't normally happen, that it didn't used to happen. Some things have changed. You didn't always get fondled. But it is absolutely true that they took the oil and they would press it near your groin. They would press it on I believe, on your stomach, on your neck, on your head. All of it was there to bless you and anoint you, so that you could go on to be like a warrior of God. In this case, also have children. And this person didn't realize until years later, because after that ceremony, you go in. And you go in, and then they tell you all of this stuff is a secret. And if you tell any of these secrets, you take a blood oath. And the oath is that you do hand signals. You do this on your stomach too. Basically saying you'll take out your own throat, rip out your own bowels if you ever tell these secrets. You take a literal blood death oath saying if you ever tell these secrets, everything that happened here today, you're not allowed to tell. So it took this person years to realize that they had actually been sexually assaulted. It took them losing their faith to realize, oh, I was sexually assaulted here. I just want to throw that out there just in case there's any Mormons listening today, and to remind you that you guys do nothing to protect children, and that these churches all over this country historically have abused children and gotten away with it. And the Christians in office, they're not going to do anything about these churches. In fact, they're offering more protection to these churches. You want to talk about the real trafficking? You want to talk about the real abuse? Like, if you want your child to be safe, keep your child out of church. Outside of your own family, the next place that they're likely to be abused is at church. And yet we're going to go after everybody else, every brown person that's ever entered this country. Let's get, what time is it? Let me check messages. Once again, guys, if you'd like to join the dollar train, that's a tough change of pace. If you'd like to join the dollar train and support the show, we would love that. The Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal are below. Vanessa, thank you for joining the dollar train. Appreciate you. Pink says, thank you for everything you do. Wish I could give more. Thank you. Every donation is appreciated. Kristen says, fuck Tex, fuck ye, or fuck Tex, fuck yay, fuck the president, love Taylor and Travis Swift. Do you think you'll have to take her name? Cam says, Trump is going to come to the game. I'm Trump and you're the game. All right. And then Ash says, just a light story. I was serving bread and oil to a table once, and I dripped oil on their baby's bald head. I didn't know what to say, so I said, your baby has been anointed, and then walked away. That joke would kill in Mormonville. That'd be a great joke.
It's Mormonville. Is that the new name?
Mormonville?
Yeah, is it Mormonville? That's a new one.
Yeah, wherever it is. If you're around Mormons. Sabrina says, oh, no message there. Thank you, Sabrina. It wasn't me. Says, I'm clapping loudly for your Travis Kelce take. Thank you. Wasn't me. And Joan, thanks for joining the dollar train. All you, Jen. I'll add it up.
All me. So while we're here, and I forgot to mention this earlier, if you guys are watching, and I don't know how this works exactly on Twitch, I'm sure there's something like this, but if you're watching over on YouTube, could you like the stream? There's a little heart in the corner. Please it'll help push things out. Also, please go check out some videos. Leave a comment, engage with it. That'll help out as well. So if you could do that, we'd appreciate that. So are you doing the math?
Yep.
All right. So top left-hand corner is once he finishes the math, will be the remainder of our gift goal. We need to hit that gift goal each day so that we can keep the show going Monday through Friday, like we're doing. So we're almost 2 hours left. We wrap up around 1 o'clock Pacific time. So if you haven't subscribed to us over on Twitch, you can do so for free with your Amazon Prime subscription if you haven't used that for Twitch yet. And then we've got 4 different memberships on YouTube. If you're in the Discord, I added a link in the announcements. If you can't find the join for the memberships, if you look under announcements, there's a link that you should be able to get to there to get to the memberships if you want to go about it that way. And then if you want an invite to the Discord, if you're not already in there, you can. Any mod has an invite that they can send you. If you want to DM me on Discord, Jen JENN DUBB #1, I can shoot you over the invite if you'd like. So, yeah, any more?
Yeah, that
So,
boot says love the work, and this is to keep Jen off your ass. Thank you. It's always useful. And I think that was it. And then the numbers updated.
Okay. All right. Imagine if you walked into a bar and there was a long line of people waiting to hit you. That's the punchline. You're muted.
Thanks for the sub.
You're muted.
Oh shit! Like to punch me?
Yeah, it's a punchline.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. Trump's gutting the EPA, which is crazy. Here's Democracy Now! Explaining how that will affect you. Once again, it's always about hurting poor people. When you gut the EPA, when you pull protections, it always hurts poor people every single time. Here's all these. It's all these Christians out there wanting to hurt poor people.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman. We end today's show with President Trump's moves to shut down the Environmental Protection Agency's Office of Environmental Justice and External Civil Rights. On Thursday, 168 workers of the Environmental Justice Office were placed on leave. The office was first established in 1992 after research showed communities with hazardous waste sites had a higher percentage of Black and low-income residents. For more, we're joined in Washington, D.C. by...
And all that really means is that when they decided where they were going to fuck things up and not take care of people, they just chose Black neighborhoods. Like, nobody will give a shit because nobody gave a shit.
Mustafa Santiago Ali, the former head of the EPA's Environmental Justice Program. He resigned in 2017 to protest a Trump administration proposal to severely scale back the agency.
Johnson, sounds like it's coming all right.
So you resigned under Trump administration 1. Now it's not scaling back. It's shutting it down.
Thanks, DTH.
Can you talk first about what environmental justice is and what it will mean?
Yeah. Well, environmental justice deals with the disproportionate impacts that happen in communities of color and lower wealth communities. Those communities are everywhere from Appalachia to Flint, Michigan, to the Navajo Nation. It makes sure that folks have a voice, makes sure that they have an opportunity to play a role in the impacts that are happening in their communities. It also helps them to be able to play a role in moving from surviving to thriving.
And so you have 168, some people are saying 200 workers within the Environmental Justice Program put on leave. So what happens to communities across the country?
Well, they're now placed in a much dangerous situation because they no longer have that advocate for them inside of the Environmental Protection Agency. You know, we have over 100 million people in our country right now who are dealing with unsafe air, whether it's from ozone, particulate matter, or a number of other things. And many times our most vulnerable communities are the ones who are carrying those burdens. So they no longer have someone to make sure that they have the information that they need and that they have the ability to work with the agency and others to address that. We know that we've got all these dangerous chemicals that are in our waters right now, everything from lead. And we saw what happened in Flint, Michigan, and Benton Harbor, and a number of other locations across our country. But we also have things like TCE and forever chemicals, and a number of other things that are just very deadly. So they no longer have someone, a place to be able to go to understand how to navigate these very dangerous situations that they're often facing. They also no longer will have the resources that are necessary to help their groups to be able to properly advocate, to help to make change happen inside of their community.
And just to be clear, like, why are they doing this? Because they just want to cut any cost to oil billionaires. And for the MAGA that's here in the chat, like trying your best to get attention, I appreciate that. But just know, like, you're just cucking for billionaires. I love it when people die so that billionaires can make more oil money.
eventually the air gets to you. Eventually the water gets to you. Eventually there comes a time when it affects everybody. And that's when you'll care, and that's when you'll get loud. For the rest of us, we recognize that like human beings are human beings, and we should probably stop killing poor people so that oil tycoons can have more money.
Thanks,
The Guardian has an article headline, Trump's proposed EPA leadership stacked with lobbyists and attorneys. What concerns you most about the EPA right now? And what message do you have? Right now, hundreds of EPA career workers have left. ProPublica reports those who remain feel deeply torn. You quit under the first Trump administration. What message do you have for those who are remaining?
Well, first, I'm very concerned about the deregulation and the focus on corporate profits, because anytime that we place profit over people, then we are putting a crosshair on our most.
You can just say, like, when Republicans are in charge, because they'll always put profits over people, which is crazy because profits don't benefit any of us, right? None of us are, it doesn't benefit us if corporations have more profit. They just have more money.
Most vulnerable, our most marginalized. For all those brothers and sisters who are still there at the agency, and for those who have been put on leave, I would give them the words of my grandmother, that you have power unless you give it away. And that means that not only them, but citizens across our country who believe that everyone has the right to have clean air and clean water for their children to be able to be on land that is free from toxic pollution, then we have to raise our voices. We have to get engaged. We have to make sure that folks understand that this is not an American value, and that we also have to understand that there is power inside of our vote. I never tell anyone who to vote for, but I do say you should be thinking very clearly about voting for somebody who cares about your communities. So don't give up your power. Continue to build relationships together and stand in solidarity.
Last week.
Sorry, and that's the end. Just a reminder to any Republicans that are here, this is not necessarily an echo chamber. If you'd like to, if you have an issue with any of the things that I said, contact one of our moderators. We'll be happy to get you the link to my, they'll just give you my Discord username. You can join. You're welcome to come up and debate any of this with me. I did see somebody say only a partisan hack would say Republicans do this. It's only Republicans that do it. So it's not really partisan hackery. It's just what happens. As a former Republican who used to support the fucking over poor people all the time so oil barons could get money, and then I started reading, I would say that this is uniquely Republican. It is something that you guys do every single time you're in office. Nobody should be surprised that every time a Republican is president or shortly after the president leaves office, there is some sort of not natural disaster, some sort of manufactured disaster by these oil companies. Happens all the time. Every time we deregulate, their shit winds up in our water. Every time we deregulate, their shit winds up in the air. Every single time. And does it benefit the Republicans? No. Who does it benefit? The oil barons. And who do the oil barons give money to? The people at the top of the Republican Party. So you guys can bootlick all you want about that, but you're literally saying, like, fuck poor people. Oh, and fuck me, but at least that guy over there has a lot more money. Doesn't benefit you one bit. Doesn't bring down gas prices. Nothing you guys do brings down the gas prices. We're drilling more now than we ever have, and gas prices don't come down. We're not seeing Trump's anything Trump is doing bringing down energy prices. In fact, they're going up, and these oil barons are making more and more and more money. And they're going to keep telling you that eventually, someday, you're going to see the benefit from that. And if you're dumb enough to keep believing that, they're thrilled about that. As long as they can keep enough dumb people around to keep voting for them, they're going to keep saying it. So good job, Drew, sticking to your guns. Benath super chatted. Thanks for solving all the world problems on my birthday the other day. Love you. I hope your birthday was amazing. And welcome to the new subscribers. Great to have you here. All right, I'm going to play, let's see, Caroline Levitt. She was out reading from a paper that Elon sent to her because she, like all Republicans, are nothing more than just just mouthpieces for Elon. Whatever Elon says, they just go repeat in front of cameras, even if it's as dumb as what she's about to read right here.
You're watching live coverage
through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces.
All right, I'm going to fact check these one by one. The 1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces is like, it's mostly accurate. The USAID gave this money to a group called Grupa Izaji, which focuses on creating opportunities for young LGBTQ people in a country where historically those people, instead of getting jobs, have just been killed or ostracized from the community. Now, some Republicans love that. Some Republicans think that those people should not live or should be ostracized from the communities. But that's what that program was there for. Literally just saving people's lives and trying to change a culture so they stop killing people for who they love.
$70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland.
Okay, that's a lie. This is a State Department grant, not USAID. It came in 2022, and it was the U.S. ambassador of to Ireland hosted an event with Ireland, and they paid for half of it. It had folk duo Francesco Teresi and Rhiannon Giddens, and then Irish and American musicians. And really what they were doing is they were just trying to bring people of different backgrounds together and say, like, hey, we're gonna have music together, we're gonna hang out together, and all these different people are gonna hang out together. We're gonna create a really welcoming a program. And again, $70,000. It's pennies.
$47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia.
That is a lie. USAID did not fund this. It appears they're referring to a $25,000 State Department grant to Universidad de los Andes in Bogota to stage an opera, which was called As One. It was composed by a artist named Lara Kaminsky, who is American. And that money just went to help produce an opera. And again, same idea, is just to say, like, here is the journey of a trans person, and maybe stop beating the shit out of people for being trans. And so by personalizing the story and putting it out in media, that's where that money went. But again, not USAID. And Caroline Levitt is saying this is USAID. Literally everything she said, except for the part of the DEI stuff in Serbia, has been wrong. Every one of these is a lie, and she's just repeating them. I remember on her first day, she promised, I will always tell the truth. She's not telling the truth.
$32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru.
All right. Also untrue. USAID did not fund this. It was not specifically transgender. This was a grant from the State Department. It was $32,000 for public diplomacy to Peru's education department. And this was to cover expenses to produce a tailor-made comic featured an LGBTQ hero to address social and mental health issues. Now, by the way, a lot of this comes from us making deals with them. Like, a lot of the funding that we give to these countries isn't just for the fuck of it. It's, hey, here's how we cooperate, and yeah, we'll kick you some money for some of these things. But again, not USAID. She's lying. She's always lying.
I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do.
Except for virtually none of that was USAID. Everything this administration tells you is a lie. Everything is meant to make you hate other people. You notice how every single one of these was about trans people? What's your guys' deal with trans people? Why are you guys so fucking worried about trans people all the time? So much so that you stand in front of the American people as the spokesperson for the president, and you just lie. You just lie and spread hatred. It's not only is it disgusting, it's dumb. And I hope that some of you start to see through it. Drew, I know you're here. Start to see through it, Drew. You want people to believe you're a good person? Start to see through this shit. They're targeting specific groups of people, Drew. Specific groups of people. Imagine being a trans person, just having to hear this shit every day.
knowing that the person at the top of your government, with all the things our country has to worry about, seems to be the number one thing anybody wants to do anything about is trans people. They just want to eliminate trans people. How the fuck does that help you? How does it help me? How does it help anybody? It helps nobody. Just because you guys are weird. You're just weird. You're thinking about people's genitals all the time. Very strange. Ash says Caroline Levitt looks like she punches little kids to make them cry. That's the only I have it under good authority that's the only time she ever laughs is when a child is crying. Thank you, Joan, for joining the dollar train. Appreciate it. I think that's all. And just a reminder, guys, we'll knock out that girl real quick if everybody joins the dollar train. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, right there. $1 per person. There's I don't know if these numbers are right. Looks like there's 500 plus people here at the same time. We could knock that out in a hurry. We could do 2 days worth in one. Is it failed swoop? Is that how you say that? One failed swoop. Yeah. All right. Let's get to this. We're going to talk about Russ Vought, and this is going to take a little bit, but I want Elizabeth Warren to introduce Russ Vought to you. Russ Vought was confirmed finally. Unanimous confirmation from Republicans. This is a person who I will show you in a minute is on the record multiple times saying they want to end democracy, and we couldn't get Republicans to not vote them in. End democracy. And the scary part about Russ Vought is like all of these other people that you're putting in place, Kash Patel, RFK Jr., Tulsi, Pete Hegseth, all these ones we have concerns about. There are people within their ranks that like can push back. There are people who can refuse their orders. There are things in place where we can hope that somebody will stop it if they do something insane. With Russ Vought, there's nobody there to tell him no. It's just him and the president. And that's what we're mostly afraid of. But here's Elizabeth Warren explaining it pretty well.
2024 election, the American people became familiar with this Republican document called Project 2025.
Thank you, Pink. I think Pink did gifted subs. I appreciate that.
The document laid out Republican plans to reshape our country if they gained control. So Donald Trump's response was to swear over and over and over again that he had nothing to do with those plans. Didn't know about them, didn't endorse them, didn't want anything to do with them. Here are some of the things that Donald Trump said about Project 2025 back in 2024. Quote, I know nothing about Project 2025. I have nothing to do with Project 2025. I disagree with some of the things they're
friendly Friday reminder. Fuck Drew, Tex, and all the Yahtzee sympathizers. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Cookie Nibs.
saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. And my personal favorite, they've been told officially, legally, in every way that we have nothing to do with Project 2025.
And Drew, is Drew still here? I don't know if Tex is here. I don't know if Drew's here. I don't know. I don't know if anybody checked on Dusty. But those of you who have been with us for a while and on TikTok, you know that every one of these Republicans came up and told us that we weren't doing Project 2025. And I'm pretty sure, Drew, I can go back and find it. I asked you multiple times. If, let's just say you're right, but if Donald Trump gets in office and they start doing Project 2025, would that change your mind? You're like, yeah, and yet here you are, not changing your mind. It's almost like no matter what he does, you're going to support it. But every one of you, everybody in the GOP, you guys laughed. Like, you were laughing. Like, oh, you guys are always bringing up Project 25. You're so fucking stupid, dude. We're not doing Project 2025. Nobody wants to do Project 2025. You're doing it step by step. You're doing it. Trump is doing Project 2025 step by step. Drew, it's time. You got to own it. Either you're just a person who's going to support him no matter what, or you were lying before. I'm going to guess you were lying before.
So
Dreamliner, thank you. They just disbanded USAID, laid off everyone. I think, look, I see that. I think that'll be challenged in the courts. That you can't just get rid of USAID. That's going to be overturned in the courts. I'm fairly certain of it. You can't unilaterally get rid of a group of people or a USAID, or I guess an organization that was founded by Congress. You need congressional approval. Now, maybe they will at some point, but you're going to need Congress. Ash says Russ looks like an itchy butthole.
Think about that. During the 2024 election, Donald Trump claimed he didn't know anything about Project 2025, but he lied. Shortly after the election, he nominated one of the chief architects of Project 2025 in a key role with the government. Now, Donald Trump has named the lead architect of Project 2025, Russ Vought, to oversee the federal government's entire budget office. That's right. Listen to this one. He is putting the head writer of the plans that you had only read about in nightmares in a key government position.
All right. Now I'm going to show you the underground clip, the clip of Russ Vought when he didn't know he was being recorded. And we showed you this time and time again. I see Tex in here saying that you wanted Project 2025. Tex, I have a hard time believing you read Project 2025, but if you did, I do believe that a lot of the views of Project 2025 kind of fall in line with you. Like you also don't like democracy. You also think Christians should be in charge. You don't really care about the Constitution. None of it matters. As long as like your Christian overlords are running things, you're cool with it. But at least you're honest about that, and I appreciate that. I appreciate at least that you're honest, but in saying, I do not care about the Constitution. I do not care about democracy. I do not care about any of those things. I just want my way to be done. And that's the thing. That's what all Republicans wanted. They just fucking lie about it because it's easy for Republicans to lie because they do it every single day. They lie about who they are. They say that they're Christian, and yet they do the opposite of Christianity all the time. They lie to themselves. And if you're able to wake up every day and lie to yourself, it's a lot easier to lie to others.
I mean, I think we could save the country in a sense of, the largest deportation in history. And once that starts, we're going to be winning a debate along the way about what that looks like, right? Yeah. And so that's going to cause us get us off of multiculturalism just to be able to sustain and defend the deportation, right?
When he says that's going to allow us to get off multiculturalism, what he's talking about is ethno-states. Now, they can't come out and say ethno-states. Again, I'll defend Tex here in that it's gross. They do want ethno-states, and some of them are honest about it. Some of them say we want ethno-states, but usually it's cowardly in a hidden video like this. He wants white Christians to dictate the culture. So when he says we're getting rid of multiculturalism, he's literally talking about an ethno-state, and he says that we are that allows us to do mass deportations if we're going to allow immigration, he says.
If we're going to have legal immigration, can we get people that actually believe in Christianity? Is that something, or do we have to have, are we not allowed to ask questions about Sharia law? So
they're doing Sharia law. It's ironically the people most afraid of Sharia law are doing Sharia. This is Sharia law. It's the exact same thing. It's taking your religious beliefs from your book that is made up, with your fairy tale book that's completely made up, with arbitrary rules, that most of the story you stole. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Did you know that there was like at least a dozen religions who preached that there would be this savior that was born from a virgin, that he would sacrifice himself, that he would die for the sins of the world? Did you know that? At least a dozen. Christianity stole that. They didn't come up with that. This isn't just because people see it now and they don't know about these other religions. They don't know that this was completely stolen. It was not a new idea. Completely stolen idea. And it allows you, like, just think of like David Koresh from Waco, Texas, right? The Branch Davidians. What did David Koresh do? How did he win over those people? He said, I'm that guy.
You know that book you've been reading? That's me. I'm the guy. I'm Jesus. I'm David Koresh here, but it's me. I told you I would come back, and here I am. And enough people believed it that they gave their life. They gave their life for David Koresh because they were already programmed to believe that somebody was going to show up one day, and that somebody would be Jesus. And because they don't know him, of course, weirdly, I don't know why David Koresh was suddenly a white guy. Jesus certainly wasn't a white guy, despite all the pictures that you guys put up. You guys would deport Jesus in a heartbeat. You know where Jesus would have been? Jesus would have been in Gaza. You guys get that, right? For all of you that support Israel, take it back to Jesus' times. He would have been a Palestinian. He would have been in Gaza. He wouldn't have been with the Jewish folks there in Jerusalem. They would have thrown him out because he wasn't keeping with their laws. He was anti that group of people. He was anti the oppressive regime. Jesus would have been in Palestine, and you guys would have been like, yeah, bomb the shit out of him. That's who you are. I said it yesterday, but you are the bad guys in every book, including the book you believe. You're the bad guys in the Bible. You're the ones Jesus talks about in the Bible every time. You just don't know that. Jesus would be much cooler with me. At least I'm not supporting going after marginalized people. At least I'm not advocating that when you walk past a man on the side of the road who needs help. At least I'm not saying, yeah, well, you put that fucker in a tent city. You know, Trump's talking about taking all the unhoused and putting them in a tent city so nobody has to look at them anymore. That's the story of the Good Samaritan, right? The good people in the Good Samaritan story were the 3 people that walked by before and didn't do a goddamn thing, right? That's the good guys. That's the good guys in the stories. You are the bad guys in the Bible. And you're like, oh, I love the Bible. I love Jesus so much. Nah. If that story was real, you would have been celebrating him put to death publicly. Public executions. Which party is openly advocating for public executions all the time? They should be hung and we'll watch it. Members of Congress, members of Republican Congress have advocated that we take the people who investigated Trump for January 6th and hang them in public. It's you. Where was Jesus crucified? In public. And who was there watching? That would have been you. You would have been there watching Jesus be crucified. And Tex, I'm actually speaking directly to you right now because you say you're a Christian. You say and without details, you say Christianity is why you're here. It's saved your life in so many different ways. You're a Christian. And you are the opposite of every story, every parable Jesus tells. You're on the opposite side of that, dude. Every last one of them. Widow's mite, you're on the opposite end. Go and sin no more, you're on the opposite end. The crucifixion, you're on the other end there. The worshiping rich people, worshiping money, you're on the other end there. Did it save you? Does it really save you if you learned all the wrong lessons? I don't know about that, bud. I don't know about you being a Christian. I know you say you are, but I don't think your beliefs. I'm far closer to the Christian that Jesus taught about than you are. Much, much closer.
So I want to make sure that we can.
No, I'm not. No, Tex is not a drug addict. That's not what I'm saying. Don't say that. Don't say Tex. Guys, don't make accusations like that. That's not cool. There's a lot of people in here that are in recovery. We're not going to mock those people by trying to call Tex a drug addict. No.
Can say we're a Christian nation, and my viewpoint is mostly that I would probably be Christian nationism. That's pretty close to Christian nationalism, because I also believe in nationalism.
Behind closed doors, Vote tells us not to take Trump's disavowal seriously.
Okay, now here's the part where Trump disavowed it, right? Vote's like, yeah, let me tell you about this.
I expect you to hear 10 more times from the rally, the president, distancing himself from the left's boogeyman of Project 2025.
And you're not worried about that?
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
He's running against a brand. He is not running against any people.
Okay.
He
Sorry, I
is.
missed some supers. Magas are too weak to keep their word. Alexandra, MS Megan, thank you for all your work. Jay and Jen, thank you.
Not running against any institutions. It's interesting, he's in fact not even opposing himself to a particular policy.
Yeah.
He's been at our organization, he's raised money for our organization, he's blessed it from the, I remember walking into our last day in office and told him what I was going to do. So he's very supportive of what we do.
Our investigation into Project 2025 began 2 weeks before the meeting with Vote.
It's interesting, God Mode, that you said that Tex has the same view. Trump loves Israel too much. I don't like him. Well, again, now you're on the opposite side because Jesus was a Jew, right? And part of that Bible, that book you believe in, is that land will be restored to the Jewish faith, right? See how hard it is to be a Republican and also a Christian? It's pretty fucking hard.
At a conference for religious nationalists in D.C.
The truth is, Christian nationalism is not a threat to American democracy. Christian nationalism founded American democracy.
It absolutely did not. It is antithetical to Christian democracy. Josh Hawley's full of shit because he's a Christian nationalism. Our country was founded on this idea that you didn't have to subscribe to an ideology.
Journalists
Welcome,
from the
Gemini.
Center for Climate Reporting have come posing as potential donors, looking to meet those involved in Project 2025. They're not hard to find. The Heritage Foundation, the group running the project, are here. So is Vote's think tank. We make the acquaintance of Mika Meadowcroft, an author on Project 2025.
Yeah, Tex is an anti-Semite. He's an open anti-Semite. Yeah. And I'm guessing God Mode might be one of his friends. Like, these are Nick Fuentes Groiper boys right here. They're just when you hear everything they're saying is just regurgitated stuff they heard from Nick Fuentes, by the way.
And a close aide to Vote. He tells us that Vote is running the secretive second phase of Project 2025.
The second phase after the book came out was to break down like actual sort of policy packets and like executive orders and agenda items, things like that. That's been supervised largely by us.
The first phase of Project 2025 was a 922-page policy book published openly. The second phase is a comprehensive, concrete transition plan for each federal agency. These much more detailed plans are confidential.
Does that sound familiar? Each federal agency, it's a detailed plan how to undo each federal agency.
Yeah. Because obviously you want as little of it to be FOIA-able, if you're familiar with the FOIA process, as possible. Freedom of Information Act, yeah.
The Freedom of Information Act allows the public to request government communications, but Meadowcroft reveals they plan to avoid these rules.
Yeah, the goal is, familiarize all the transition team people with these plans, but you don't actually, send them to their work emails. Right.
See, this does two things, and I'm not sure they understood. Their plan worked, but I think they didn't understand how the plan would work. The plan works when he says those plans aren't FOIA-able. He's not saying like, oh, well, if somebody knows our plan, they'll be able to stop it. They're not hiding it from me. They're not hiding it from most of the people in this audience. They're hiding it from Republicans. They already know that we're going to oppose it. This is a secret plan that they made to hide from Republicans. Because what they need you to think is that this is all about foreign aid, and this is all about you. And what they're actually trying to do is save you money and save our country. But they're telling you that they just want an ethno-state. They want a Christian ethno-state. And when people immigrate here, they have to be Christian. They want Christian assimilation. It's happening, guys. It's happening right before our eyes, and all they want is power. They can hide behind their Christianity all they want. All they really want is power. And there will be no end to this. If you allow this to go on, if you're here and you're like, I like Project 2025, but I'm not really a Christian, cool. You're next. I like Project 2025, but I'm a Mormon. Cool. You're next. What did they do? They already went after the Lutheran Church. Why did they go after the Lutheran Church? Lutheranism is anti-nationalist in general. If you guys are familiar with the history of the Lutheran Church, Martin Luther had problems with the church. He inspired two great things. He inspired the name of Martin Luther King Jr., and he also inspired, I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. He took a list of 99 problems, and he nailed it on the door of churches all over Europe. And he said, these 99 teachings are bullshit. I have a problem with all. I don't believe that they are sound. I don't believe that they are biblical. I got 99 problems with you motherfuckers. And they tried to kill him, and they ran him out. And it was part of this Protestant revolution. But Martin Luther was the original wokester. He was the original, hey, guys, like, this is crazy. We shouldn't have to pay money in order for our sins to be absolved. And the Catholic Church is like, what? You fucking wokester. You huckster. And out of that Protestant Reformation, out of that Protestant movement, came America. Religious freedom. The idea that it does not matter what you believe, you should be free to think and believe anything you want. We're a young country. And we were founded, I love the principles of believe anything you want and you can be here in this country. But these people are an enemy to that. They want the opposite. They want the church to control the government. They don't want anybody to have any beliefs in law that don't align with them. This is the Catholic Church. And the parallels are absolutely uncanny to the Catholic Church and the rise of Protestantism. Who were the rich preachers, the rich government? The church was the government. Who's aligning with Trump? All the rich folks. The industry leaders, the Joel Osteens, all these rich pastors, these people who make millions of dollars, the Mormon church. It's the same thing. And I'm telling you, history does repeat itself. It does. And that's why I'm proud to be on this side. Because after and we'll drag some of these motherfuckers until they get it. But at some point, people are going to be like, I don't really want to live here. I don't really want to live in a place like this. And then we get real reform. And then we'll get the shit that we want. Like, who's afraid of this dumb bitch? Nobody's afraid of this dumb bitch. They just have a gullible bunch of people who have been tricked into hating trans people. That's why they're still talking about trans people all the time. Because that tagline worked. People will throw away their country so that they don't have to see a trans person.
You know, you could just give the handbooks to everyone. Be like, this is the game plan for the admin.
Yeah.
If the press knows that that's what you're doing, that they're going to immediately just say, like, I request all of your emails from Heritage.
Okay.
You know, you
right.
Worker.
Yeah, I see.
So we'll see.
Interesting.
So they knew it was like they know it's a secret plan from the start. They lied to you, Republicans.
Ruff offers to set up a meeting with his boss, Russ Vogt.
You could like put me in touch with somebody who looks after his diary or whatever.
Yes, I can put you in touch with his schedule. Yeah.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Great.
So just tell me when to do that.
We want to meet the man writing the game plan for Trump's second administration. Vogt believes that in his first term, Trump's agenda was frustrated by what he calls the deep state. So Vogt is planning a radical centralization of government power under the president, firing civil servants and ending the independence of agencies like the FBI and DOJ.
80% of my time is...
Does that sound familiar to any of you? Why would you want to end the FBI and the DOJ? Because you need to consolidate power. Those are powerful agencies. You need to consolidate it in the hands of the Christian nationalists, right?
Working on the plans of what's necessary to take control of these bureaucracies. And we are working doggedly on that, whether it's destroying their agency's notion of independence. They're independent from the president.
Vogt has also been preparing documents based on...
Okay, that's the key. We're going to destroy this idea that they are independent from the president.
They want to destroy that idea so that the president unilaterally can get them out of the way. All of these organizations were founded by Congress. They're funded by Congress. They are independent from the president. Now, the president can staff them, but the president's not supposed to be able to do away with them, and we're finding that out in real time. One of the things that I think all of us should take a little bit of hope in, a lot of bit of hope, is our courts over and over so far have said no. I want to shout out a member of our research team who I doxed accidentally one time, so I'm not going to say their name, but they know who they are, one of my longtime mods. We were discussing this stuff the other day, and there was a lot of woe is me, and she just simply said, like, look, guys, I think the courts are going to step in on some of this stuff. And the courts are. We'll see what the Supreme Court does. We'll see if Russ Vought, Leonard Leo, all these people have been able to bribe the Supreme Court. However, Leonard Leo's on the outs with Trump. Trump left Leonard Leo out, and Leonard Leo's the one that basically bought all these Supreme Court justices. So there's some tension there too. But our courts so far are stepping in and saying, no, you cannot unilaterally do this.
On fringe legal theories, arguing the president has the power to use the military against protesters.
George Floyd obviously was not about race. It was about destabilizing the Trump administration.
Right. Yeah.
We put out, for instance, a 50-page paper designed for lawyers to know that the president has, the ability both along the border and elsewhere to maintain law and order with the military, and that's something that it's going to be important for him to remember and his lawyers to affirm. But we've given them the case for that.
With loyalists installed in key government agencies and armed with his playbook, Vought believes a radical Christian nationalist agenda can be realized under a second Trump presidency. For example, on abortion.
So I think the president's actually come up with a strategy that works, so long as you are giving people like me in the government the ability to block funding for Planned Parenthood.
Steve said, the fact that Trump has immunity, what if Trump just refuses to abide by the court rulings? He can't. I mean, what's he going to do? These agencies exist. He can't. What's he going to do? Go fight them? I mean, he can keep trying to get rid of the court, but eventually these these injunctions that the courts are doing, they have weight, and they have more weight that, like, if I'm working in one of those agencies and the court rules that Trump can't get rid of me, I just show up to work. What's he going to do? I mean, at some point, is it going to bring in the military? I guess that's kind of what he would have to do, but he can't just do it. They can't do anything. And that's the thing about this plan, is this plan relies on people going, oh, the president is powerful. The president can do anything. So we're fucked. It relies on two things: Republicans going along with it, which they will because they're fucking morons. And it relies on us feeling so overwhelmed that we just quit. And I'm just telling you, look at our politicians right now. They're not doing a lot, but they're not rolling over. They're not shutting up about it. They're not just going with it. Our side of the aisle is fighting this, and the courts are with us right now. So just remember, like, we can wear those people out. Now, Trump's never going to get anything. Like, nothing will ever happen to Trump for any of this. You might see some action against Russ Vought. You might see some action against Elon Musk. Trump has his get out of jail free card, which is what they gave him. The reason they're talking about, like, we can do it in the second Trump administration is because they gave him judges that would say you get a get out of jail free pass. And then they went to him and they said, dude, you can do whatever you want. You can do all this shit. We got you the get out of jail free card. No matter what you do, we'll give you millions, billions of dollars. Just let us do this. I know you don't care about it. You're just trying to run a real estate deal in Palestine. You're just trying to make millions and billions of dollars, which is what he's doing. The thing we have to remember is that Trump is a grifter who's here to make money. So Trump is just out here making money, and then every once in a while signing an executive order and getting out of the way and letting these people run it, because he does not give a fuck about any of this. He's just making money, and he's making a lot of money. He's grifting the fuck out of these Republicans because, again, and we can't say this enough, they're fucking dumb. They're really, really fucking dumb. And so it's the best of both worlds. Trump is going to walk away from this untouched, and he's going to have billions of dollars, and we just have to deal with that. It's going to happen. And maybe if we can get the Senate and Congress back, we can pass things. I think that it's so corrupt that we have a real chance after Trump at getting money out of politics. We have a real chance at universal health care. He's fucking so many things up, and it's so corrupt that even the Republicans are going to be afraid that we would do what he's doing when we're in power. And so Republicans, once they lose power, are probably going to be like, hey, let's put some protections in, and then it will be our job to hold our politicians accountable. It'll be our job to, when our politicians step in, to say, fucking fix it. And if I see any of it, none of us should be celebrating if when we get back in power, we start doing these same things. Otherwise, it's just this continuous cycle. Like, we've got to fix it, and Republicans aren't smart enough to fix it, so we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to hold some people accountable.
Block funding for fetal tissue research. What I've told people is he had the most pro-life record ever. I've never seen him take it to stand in the way.
Yeah, Drew, we covered that. They can get rid of the sign all they want. They can't undo. The courts are going to rule that they can't get rid of USAID. This is all performative bullshit, and it works on Republicans because Republicans, and we can't say this enough, say it with me, everybody, Republicans are fucking dumb. Cool, they took down the sign. How? Well, what are we going to do? The sign's down, it must be gone. No. That's not how it works.
Of a pro-life initiative that actually was real, politically, and with momentum.
And for Vote, Trump's pick for vice president shows he's serious about pushing this ideological agenda when in power.
So I am very happy with the JD pick. I think it's transformative for sure. And he's, think of him as a member version of what we do. So there's no think tank, no policy organization, no battle plan creator other than us for the worldview that I think Donald Trump has and that JD has.
But as public backlash against these plans builds, the Trump campaign has been scrambling to distance themselves from Project 2025's authors.
It's complete and utter bullshit for any reporter to write that this is the way it is. The president's made it clear these people do not speak for him. They do not speak for the campaign.
But Vote tells.
Let me. I know there's some people that we have discussions with our family. We have discussions in the chat. We have discussions in other debate spaces. Let me just tell you this as a plea. If you aren't super familiar with Project 2025, don't try and convince somebody of it. Familiarize yourself with Project 2025. Find yourself 3, 4, 5 examples of particular things that are in Project 2025 that Republicans are doing. If you're in the Discord, get this video. We share all of our sources. Take this video, watch it, and familiarize yourself with Project 2025. Because what Republicans were able to do, because we didn't know enough and because it hadn't happened, is Republicans have been able to laugh off Project 2025 and pretend it wasn't happening because at the time it wasn't. But now it is. And if you want to be an activist, you want to make real change, this shit works. You'll notice even in our chat, like the Republicans are pretty mellow today. They're pretty mellow today because this is transparent. It's hard to argue that what they're doing right now is not trying to take over the country as Christian nationalists. And when somebody says, I'm a Christian nationalist, I support Project 2025, rather than rip that person apart and be like, oh, you fucking Nazi, make it more public. Okay, great. Yeah, so this is a Christian nationalist. This person believes in ethno-states. This person is the exact person that would run, that would be part of Project 2025. Now you, second Republican, do you want an ethno-state? Do you want the church to run the state? Do you believe that you should not be able to come into our country as an immigrant unless you are a Christian? No? Okay, so Project 2025, that guy, you don't want to be like that guy. You don't want to be like God mode here. You don't want to be like God mode. You don't want to be a piece of shit. You want to be normal. Okay, stop supporting it. But familiarize yourself with some of this stuff and this video and make sure that you're holding that up. One of the things that I think is kind of correct is like calling somebody a Nazi is not that effective. Showing how somebody's a Nazi is very effective. When you can take somebody on record and be like, this is a Nazi belief. You believe it? Yes, I believe it. Okay, so you're a Nazi. And then get another Republican and say, do you believe these things? No, I don't. Okay, great. You're not a Nazi. This person is a Nazi, and Donald Trump is doing all the Nazi stuff. Russ Vought is doing all the Nazi stuff. Draw some lines of delineation. Take these people and use them as examples. Let me read some comments real quick, guys. We are doing Friendly Friday today. As long as we hit the goal, we got a ways to go. I'll update it in a second. I want to thank Natalie, Charles, and Pink for joining the Dollar Train. Peter says, keep up the great work. Thanks, Peter. Cam says, Von Swede says 95, not 99 problems. I know, but they did the 99 problems from them. It's right. It is 95 problems. Thank you, Von Swede. Fucking smart people correcting it. Andy, thank you for joining the Dollar Tree as well. Where is Von Swede? Is Von Swede not able to chat? I miss you, Von Swede. I love you. All right.
She's in the YouTube chat.
Oh, she is? Under Von Swede?
Yeah, it's not, I think she's Red. Her name's Red.
Do you want to do your announcements real quick? We'll finish the video. I'll do the math real quick.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
why. That's why I'm here. So, if you guys are enjoying the stream, like Jay mentioned, we've got that gift goal top left-hand corner. We've got to hit that to keep the stream going each day. So Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Super Chats. If you guys could help us knock that out, that would be fantastic. We won't be able to do Friendly Friday unless we hit the goal. So, if you haven't subscribed to us, got a membership on YouTube, you can do so. If you're in the Discord already, I added a link to be able to join it in the announcements channel. If you're having a hard time joining through mobile or whatever the case may be, you might need to use a browser. So if you're on Twitch, you can subscribe to us with your Amazon Prime sub if you have one. So you won't have to use your money, you can use Bezos' money. And if you'd like an invite to the Discord, any mod can get you a link if you want to ask them, or if you want to DM me on Discord, Jen, Jenn, Dub, DUBB, the number 1, and we can get you an invite. I did set up a voice channel, so if you're sitting in the comments crying and want to come talk, we can bring you in that way, and so you don't have to cry in the comments. You can get all your big feelings out. If you
So
want.
how would they do that? Just so they know, how would if somebody wanted to jump up here, how would they go about that?
You just ask any mod for a link for the Discord, and we can come in and they can join the voice chat unverified before they even get into the server. And I could just drag them there, or I could put them there, and you could go. I could drag you over there from this VC.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
I already have that. And then, so is that the current? Okay,
Yeah.
170 left to do gift goal. We've got hour and 10 minutes or so left to do that. So I think that's all of it. Why do vampires seem sick?
Why do they seem sick?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're always coughing.
Stupid. All right. Back to Russ Vought.
Tells us that behind the scenes, things are much friendlier. The Trump campaign recently picked him to write the Republicans' policy platform.
I realize some of this is outdated, but again, it's important to remember the history. They're saying that they weren't doing Project 2025. Then we're like, hey, wait a minute, he's writing the RNC platform. And they're like, that doesn't mean we're doing Project 2025. And then Trump gets in office. They start doing Project 2025, and then he's appointed to be OMB. So,
making him essentially Project 2025's man on the inside.
I think the best example is like the campaign selected me to be the platform because of their views on my policy ideas, and they're not running from all of the negativity that I get from the press.
I see. So they haven't been spooked on you as a person, you don't think?
No, I mean, I don't think I'm going to be their transition pick because then they have all these kinds of stories.
Yeah.
But no, the relationship is great.
The head of the Trump transition team has not yet been appointed, but Vought says that no matter who is named, he'll be able to hand over his Project 2025 battle plans directly.
If it's someone like a Stephen Miller or Bob Lighthizer, then all this stuff gets plugged right in. If it's not, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
But all of it will be designed for a theory of the case that President, if a battle plan is out there that will do what he wants, there are the people like me that have his trust that we'll be able to get it to him in whatever position we're at, or I could be at Center for New America, but
I'm just saying, like, if why all the secrecy? Why always all the secrecy out of you folks? How come everything has to be done undercover? And you guys have been conditioned to believe this. That's how QAnon rose. It was like, oh, no, Trump has a plan. He'll tell us about it later. Same response when we've asked, like, why you guys don't care that Elon's doing what he's doing. And you're like, oh, I trust Elon, or I trust Trump. You've been conditioned to trust people, and it doesn't matter what they do. You just think that we're evil all the time. Like, somehow we're evil. Everything we're against with Project 2025, most Americans are against. Most of you guys are against. Most Republicans are against Project 2025. And ironically, like, we've been divided so much that you guys will vote for stuff against your interests because own the libs. Right? You just don't want us to get our way, so you'll vote for the opposite of what's best for you so that we don't get, healthcare? What are you guys so afraid of with us? You might accidentally get healthcare. Your grandparents won't die without access to their drugs. Heather says, dollar train to cover the weekend, too. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate it. Thank you, Joyce, as well, for joining the dollar train. Jose says, $5 for the dollar train. Thank you, Jose. Trudy says, got an unexpected bonus and sharing while I can. Thank you and the whole team for the great information. Thank you, Trudy, and congratulations on the bonus. I'm sure it was less than you deserved, but congratulations on your bonus there.
the relationships will be there, the trust level will be there.
Project 2025's Radical Phase 1 policy book turned into a PR disaster.
The director of Project 2025 has stepped down after facing criticism from both Democrats and the Trump campaign.
But Vote's Phase 2 battle plans, top secret and handed directly to the transition team, remain unburdened by the brand.
And are you going to rebrand that second phase at all?
For what I do, the brand's not important.
And you're not worried that if it has Project 2025 on, he's going to go
no.
And you're not going to publish those?
No.
They go straight to...
Yeah, they're very, very close hold.
Okay.
Brilliant. It's been an education.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
If this was their plan and not their secret plan, I am concerned about what the next level of the plan is. And I think we start to see that a little bit here. I think the fake attacks on Christianity, I think undoing Title IX. Look, none of these people, ironically, none of these people think that women should be in high office. None of these people think women should be playing sports. None of these people think women should have autonomy over their bodies. None of these people think you should be allowed to have a child out of wedlock. None of these people believe that there's any reason that you could have an abortion. All of these people believe in sexual purity. They believe that should be taught in school. They believe that there should be repercussions for that. It's why they want to get rid of the Department of Education and go to charter schools, and then they'll just only fund the charter schools that teach Christianity. That's, I assume, part of Trump's move, like the attacks on Christianity. They'll get tax breaks, and then suddenly the schools will be teaching your kids about Jesus and teaching your kids about abstinence only and teaching your kids about the morals that none of them actually have, but they want. They'll teach your kids that they can't be trans. Your kids will be forced back into the closet. We will see the suicide rates for LGBTQ youth skyrocket again. Like, if their plan gets back into place, cool, we're going back to the 1950s. Civil rights protections will be undone. Segregation will happen. Ethno-states will happen. It's what they want. I don't think that they can accomplish it, but it is what they want. And I think that that type of stuff is important to remind people and to show them. Like when he says in this video, when he's talking about, if you come to this country, you have to be Christian. He talked about multiculturalism. Multiculturalism isn't beliefs. Multiculturalism is different cultures. And as we all know, there really is no white culture. It doesn't seem to exist. Somebody could maybe explain to me what white culture is outside of white supremacy. I don't really know. But he doesn't want any cultures outside of white, Christian, whatever they think their white nationalism is. This is an attempt at gaining control. And the reason that they're so desperate and the reason they're doing it this way is the writing is on the wall. Christianity, religion in general, it's been a slow decline over the past couple decades. And in America, we're bleeding people from the church more than ever, and they desperately want control. They believe that the reason that the church is the churches are losing people is because of this multiculturalism, this idea of acceptance. And they're right. They're right. The internet fucked up religion. Acceptance fucked up religion. Freedom fucks up religion. The autonomy fucks up religion. All these things that you enjoy, that you say you're happy to be an American because of the freedoms that you have, those are all the things they want undone. And by the way, do you think these people won't take your guns? When all is said and done, let's say they accomplish their goal, but there's a few of us that are some dissidents still, and we don't want to submit to Christian nationalism. You don't think they'll take our guns? It's authoritarians take the guns. They do. They always take the guns from the people. Name me an authoritarian who doesn't take the guns from the people. They'll strip away your First Amendment, then your Second Amendment. They'll strip away every amendment, and they will fundamentally undo democracy and write a new constitution. That's their plan. Do I think they can make it? No. Do I think it'll happen? No. Nobody gives a fuck about them. That's why they have to use Donald Trump, because their ideas are so unpopular, and they are so unpopular that it takes somebody like Donald Trump, who has a godlike following, in order for them to get their messaging through. And they're just lucky enough to have a guy who will sell out to anything. Push Pop says, I will leave the country before I live in a Christian nation. This place will be a nightmare. Shelly, thank you for all you do. And Devin says, my daily dues. Appreciate you guys. Let me update that. I'll update that actually in a second. Where else do we have? Well, let me add it up real quick. You guys can listen to the theme song while I add it up, and then I'll have to read some articles. All I had to do is turn on the music. We've now hit the gift goal. Thank you guys so much. Let me read some comments here from Gladiator Plumbing, for all your plumbing needs. Doing my part. Thank you so much. And listen, guys, we're not here on the weekend, and it wouldn't hurt for Jen to have some extra spending money on the weekend. So you guys are welcome to continue to donate if you'd like to. Sabrina, thanks for joining the Dollar Train. Brandy says, sincerely appreciate you and Jen. Thank you so much, Brandy. Robert says, $3 from your union bro in Chicago. Shout out to our union brothers and sisters. Keep up the good fight. We desperately need you to keep fighting. Unions are our strongest allies. Tiffany says, buy great medication and thank you for the education. Fuck Donald Trump and KK Caroline Levitt. Jen, we can start getting Friendly Fridays ready if you want to come up. I don't know if you're here or not, but we can start doing that. If you guys are in the Discord, you want to join Friendly Friday, jump in the general VC right now, and we'll bring you up. Let me see over here. Raina says, for Tex and Drew are fucking dumb. Sorry, Tex. Sorry, Drew. I don't control what the messages say. I have no control over that. Manny, I'm sure that old fart was on Grindr at the RNC. Bro, Grindr's a riot at the RNC. They love that shit. Jen, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. We got people in the VC?
I moved. So it looks like Kim is in VC. So if you guys are in the Discord, I moved us over to General VC. You guys can hop in over there for Friendly Friday.
And if you're not in Discord, you should join the Discord. It's a great time over there. Jamar says, black dicks. Thank you, Jamar.
Well. All right.
That's plural? Plural for you, Jamar? You got multiples there, my friend? That'd be pretty cool. All right, who's first?
I think Kim's first.
Hey, Kim. Yeah.
How are you doing?
What am I doing?
I said, how are you doing?
Oh, good. I was like, I'm just doing a live stream. Yeah.
You're like, I'm just chilling, doing
Yeah.
my job, whatever.
What's up?
So I've been like really processing a whole lot over the past week, and like I have to like analyze everything. My brain is so divergent, but I've been really thinking about like how like what it was like waking up from, being in the cult of the church, and what caused that that awakening for me to like want to escape. And I think the very first step that I had to take was learning accountability. Because like the church programs you, right? That like the devil made people do it, or sin made people do it, or it's powers and principalities. And um like I was even taught that like when I was in my like women's groups, that like if a husband cheats on his wife, like we needed to figure out what made him do that.
Well, it's probably you're
Like
wearing a
we
tank
weren't
top. Yeah.
obviously, yeah, they were wearing a tank top, and like I burned his dinner.
Yeah.
Or if like if like your husband's golfing too much or spending too much time at the office, it's probably because you're nagging him too much at home. And like there was just always this like shifting of blame. Um and I mean, it was just kind of like, I mean, obviously it was very toxic, right?
Yeah.
But like we were programmed to accept blame for things that are not our fault, and programmed to just accept that like okay, so all of that being said, over the past week, I think like maybe 792 times on TikTok lives, I've heard some MAGA, it's always a white MAGA idiot, jump up into a live and say something along the lines of, "This is why y'all lost."
Yeah.
Like, this is why you lost. And I'm like, moving forward, just moving forward as the RTP army, can we just say, no, this is not why we lost. MAGA has supercomputers in their pocket. MAGA had just as much access to this information as we did.
Yeah.
MAGA made a choice, and we are not responsible for your dumbass choice. And I'm tired of people blaming us that like, oh, it's because we're too X, Y, and Z is why we lost the election. No, go fuck yourself. You made the choice to vote in for fascists. And we either can move together as a country to keep our constitutional republic or not.
Yeah.
Period. I'm tired of talking about Kamala. I'm tired of talking about all of it. I just like we can band together and keep our country or not.
Yeah.
Period.
I love that. Yeah. First of all, they don't know why we lost. They were already in the pocket. They no matter what Trump did, they were going to vote for him. I just don't think that's the right person to know. But even if it's true, like even if what they say is true, fine. That just means that a bunch of people didn't know the truth. A bunch of people either didn't know the truth or refused to understand the truth. So what are we supposed to say? Like, oh, you're right. Let's all be fucking idiots now. Let's just, since we lost, let's just all be fucking dumb. No, we're gonna try and convince you to stop being dumb.
Oh, that's it. That's it. I've been like processing it all week, and I've just wanted to like almost like text you like, Jay, tell people to stop being dumb. So anyway.
Well, you can anytime.
All right.
Thanks, Kim. One of our great moderators, Kim. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Who's next?
Come on, Swede.
It's not me.
Come on, Swede.
Hi.
Hey. How's Sweden
I'm
doing?
here. Sweden is doing okay. I think you heard the news. We had a mass shooting this week.
I don't remember if I did hear that.
Yeah, it's the worst one in Sweden's history. At a school, 10 people are dead. Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah, it's been a bad week. But yeah, we're hanging on. Yeah.
That's
but I wanted to.
Horrific.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. I'm just while you're saying it, I'm looking. I'm not ignoring you. I just didn't. I must have missed this. Ricard Anderson. Do we know motive or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Jesus.
Not much.
Well, I'm
yet.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's gotta be different in Sweden. I wonder, like, do you feel like in Sweden people will take that more personally, like just by area, like everything's closer. Everything bad that happens is closer to you. Like if something bad happens in Maine, I feel like, we're countries away, but in Sweden, a much smaller country, I think that the impact of that is probably felt more by the everyday populace.
Right, and it doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
So, it's a very safe country, and we don't... Like, I'm never scared. So, it's weird to... This is happening. Hopefully, not more people will be inspired, but... yeah.
Well, I love you.
I love you too, and I wanted to say hi. I'm always here, and I'm always listening. I don't always comment, but I'm always listening every day.
Well, it's our job in the Discord to pick up Von Sweet. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. You can hear it in your voice. It's obviously holding you down. So I'm sorry you're dealing with all that. Yeah.
It's quite... Yeah, I have friends there, so it was kind of... it's been tough, but they are okay, and... But it's just... I feel like part of our innocence is gone, kind of.
Yeah. Let us know how we can help you. Okay? Stay active in the Discord. We're here for you.
I will.
All right.
Yes, and I love you too, and listening every day.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, you take care.
You too. We'll see you.
Bye.
Who's next?
Oh, right. Jen can't kick me. I need to kick myself.
Yeah, I don't think... Maybe she can. She probably can. Jen, who's next?
Still not me.
It's positive impact. I can get people on here.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm
maybe
I'm
wonderful was wrong. Maybe not wonderful. It's good. We're good.
Yeah, it's so it's just I guess the thing that I worry about is, I know we're pursuing there's lots of court cases, and I think some of the courts will stand up. But like, how does that get enforced?
Did you say how does that get enforced? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
once there's a court injunction, like, if they just keep doing it, then what? Like, how does the enforcement happen? That's what I worry about.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess they could try. I just don't see them, like, if you, like, let's say that with USAID, they shut down USAID, the courts come back and the courts say no. What are they going to keep firing people? Like, people can show up, those people are going to be paid. Those people can, I mean, worst case scenario, let's say you work at USAID and you get fired, and the courts say you can't get fired. Well, you're just going to get paid for doing nothing. So now they're going to waste the same amount of money because they're going to force the government to pay that money, and nothing will get done. So I guess that would be worst case scenario. I don't see Trump trying to fight that battle. He hasn't fought back really against any of the court injunctions so far. So I don't know. Good question.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have an answer to that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to have an answer, but yeah, that just kind of goes through my mind is like, if they have control over so many things, and even though the court says, hey, you can't do this, and they put an injunction on it, and and they just say, well, we're going to do it anyways. It's like, I just wonder what, the enforcement is at that point. But I guess we'll just have to see how this all unfolds. But yeah,
I'm not sure.
Very troubling.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for all you do.
Yeah,
I listen every day, and it's really helpful.
Good talking to you again.
All right.
See ya.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. All right. Now who?
Paper Snow, I think.
Paper Snow, yeah.
Hey.
Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Great. How are you?
We're surviving. How about that? I'm in a good mood. I like seeing. I like being in fight mode. That's when I'm at my best. So this is kind of like where I'm comfortable in chaos.
I get that. I'm a mom of a young girl and a special needs kiddo. So we kind of live in fight mode, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually what I was going to say, though, is that you guys have given me so much information, and I'm sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional about
Let
this.
it out. Who the fuck cares? Let it be emotional. Who cares? Let it out.
It's been very scary seeing what they're doing. and the rights they're trying to take away from women and girls and kids with special needs. And my family has benefited a lot from the programs that the DOE ensures that my son gets. And you guys have given me so much information to start really stepping up in a bigger way for my kids. So that is invaluable to me. I just really appreciate what you guys are doing. And thank you for keeping us in fight mode, because I think it's really what we need. And the more of us that there are, the more of us can rest when we need to and then get back in it.
Yeah.
And let other people rest when they need to.
Yeah. It's I mean, I never thought I would see the time in our country where it was just like an open attack on the most marginalized people. Like it's so bizarre to see our country attempt to go backwards.
It is.
Yeah.
But to me, what's more bizarre is seeing how many people support it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like having these conversations. I'm in Florida. I'm in a very red area. I have very few people that share any of my political beliefs in my daily life. So having these conversations just feels like, oh, it's just never ending.
Yeah.
And when I hear some of their responses, it's like, it's all the same stuff that you hear on all the lives on TikTok. And there are days when I'm just like, no, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But then you start trying to explain it and you just see their eyes glaze over and you know it's not getting through.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, look,
you guys have really helped me advocate more, so I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. Keep using your voice and don't hide that emotion. Like that stuff's real. Like most people aren't. Just the reality is most people are affected far more by emotion when people show that raw emotion than they are if you're just going to give them a fact sheet. Like knowing that it hurts other people personalizes it and it makes it more real. Allowing it to be a number, allowing your child to just be a number allows people to dismiss it. Don't run from that. Like let that out. People know what it's like to love their children. People know what it's like to love people. People know what it's like to know somebody who needs help that can't make it through life on their own. Don't hide that. That's important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And women need to apologize less.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm trying.
That's right.
Apologize less, women. We need to not apologize so much.
No, let them out.
I don't apologize very much.
I know, and I love that about you.
I encourage bully men. I mean, it's what's fair.
Yeah, she's great.
I love hearing you guys in the Discord. The Discord has made me feel so at home. So thank you guys so much.
Good. Keep fighting. We're with you.
All right, take it easy, guys.
You too. We'll see it. Follow that up, Illusion. Good luck.
Now it's your turn.
No damn way. I was 2 seconds late on coming in at my turn.
Dude, your
I can't follow that shit up.
Your connection is horrific.
Okay, I'll come back.
Okay,
Sorry, man. I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. Come back, though. We'll hear from you again. I appreciate that. Devo.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
As good as you can in the world.
Sure.
First of all, Von Swede was on. That's terrible what happened over in Sweden.
Yeah.
And it does really, it affects the surrounding area too. Like, not trying to dox myself, but I live less than 10 minutes from the Buffalo shooting at the grocery store.
Yes.
And even though I fortunately didn't know anybody there or was involved, like there was just like this heavy weight over me and like over the city. Like I can't describe it, but like everybody was just like, I don't know, it's like this huge weight on your shoulders. It's a really weird feeling, and I hope she's okay. But I was going to talk about with the Travis Kelce comment about the president. People are so stupid making a big deal, but I was thinking about it. I'm like, he couldn't win. If he said he hated Trump, people would be mad. If he said he loved Trump, people would be mad. He kept it neutral and people are mad. So I don't think there's any way that he could have won. And I dislike the Chiefs more than anything as a Bills fan. But I still am not mad. I still am not mad at Travis Kelce for that. I think he answered it perfectly. And the fact that people get so worked up over it, it's like, we got other shit to worry about in this country.
Yeah, I think there's also we all need a place to escape. And for a lot of us, that's sports. And, you know, like we don't, if we cancel all the athletes, we don't have a place to escape anymore for those of us that might be our escape. And I get it. Like when we're passionate, we want people to see what we're seeing, but some people don't. And you would never do that to your neighbor, right? If you had a neighbor that you liked and they didn't see what you were seeing and they gave you a lukewarm reception like that, you wouldn't just never talk to them again, right? It's important to have that type of understanding. I would love it if he was like, fuck that orange Cheeto dust bitch. That would be funny. But like you said, like he's in a no-win situation. He's focused on football. He has, you know, all these athletes have millions of dollars, and they have they have privilege. They don't feel the same stuff we do. And but again, like for a lot of Americans, that's their escape. That's the place they can go, and escape this stuff. So if we're canceling athletes, I don't know. I don't love it.
If I can find a way to blame Kelce or Mahomes for anything, and even I can't blame Kelce for that. And other people were saying that, he should have.
Harrison Butker's on that team. Let's just blame Butker. That's fine.
Oh, that's fine. Let's do that.
Yeah.
He's not that great either. But anyways, I know I'm out of time. And I was going to close with something, and my brain's people were also criticizing Travis. Well, he should have said he hated Trump, especially after what he did with Taylor Swift. So the poor guy, he couldn't win.
Yeah,
he's like, I got a Super Bowl to win. Screw you all.
Yeah,
so.
I agree.
So.
All right.
All right. Well, go Eagles. Kick the Chiefs' ass.
Go Birds.
Really bad.
That's right. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
America's team this
all right.
week.
Have a good week.
We'll see it. I love you. Stop asking.
Actually, it's.
Sorry.
I don't know if it's alphabetical order, but it's Gummy Bear Cam.
Oh, hey Cam. Fuck the Rams. Welcome.
What is going on, kids?
Where you been, dude?
I don't know. I've just been busy this week, and I feel bad because I haven't listened. But I also got a hit on Sunday night, so that was fun.
You got what?
Missed your car or what?
No, so I work for right now between jobs. I'm working for a startup that owns a fleet of EVs, and basically, like, we get paid hourly to drive on the Uber platform.
Okay.
So I was driving. Unfortunately, it was a Tesla I was driving. It was a Model Y. But I was just at a stoplight with passengers and just chilling there, waiting at the red light, and boom, got hit in the back. So it wasn't like
the car didn't explode, so that's a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't terribly bad. It knocked my glasses off, but that was about it. But so I had that happen. Yeah, thank you. But nothing too major. But I don't know. I've just been busy and doing stuff around the house and everything, so I haven't had a chance to tune in. But it feels weird. I'm like, damn, like it's a whole week. It's weird.
I think I brought it up the other day. I don't remember if it was in research. I was like, where's Cam been? It's weird. Like nobody's trolling me. This has been weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm slacking here. I haven't.
Yeah, do better.
I haven't had you on edge.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't let it happen again.
Yeah. So, who is it? I don't know if you've already mentioned, but who you root for the game?
Oh, fly Eagles fly, baby.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of neutral on it.
I don't want to. I'm not rooting for Mahomes. That dude. I don't want to root for the refs. Nobody roots for the refs.
Yeah. I'm a little neutral myself, but I think it would be kind of hilarious. Just the collective number of like Oakley wraparound sunglasses that would smash against the floor of F-250 Super Duties if Taylor Swift was on the field celebrating.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
So I do also kind of enjoy that aspect. So yeah, I'm kind of neutral. But anyways, I'll be around.
All right, good. I'm glad you're all right, man. Good to hear.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see it.
Fuck the Niners. Bye.
See ya. All right, Jay.
All right,
Who's
Brother
next?
Bob.
Brother Bob, welcome.
Hey, can you let someone else go before me? I'm almost home.
No.
Sure.
Okay. I'm kidding. Let me stop asking.
Hey.
Okay, go ahead. Say such.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
There you go.
There we go.
He was threatening to say FUJ, so I'm just glad he went with the J such.
We don't say those type of words on this program.
Yeah, none at all.
None.
None. All right, well, he was home. I just wanted to come up and say, yeah, you suck, and we love you anyway.
Love you too. Thank you for coming up.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great one.
You too. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Let's do Trad, Florida, or T-Rad. I don't know. Let's do that one. You're muted. I don't know if I can unmute. I think I can. I think I can unmute people.
I'm gonna be. Some people said in the chat, like there were some people that said like Travis Kelce isn't being canceled; he's being criticized. Yeah, good. I'm cool with criticism. I'm speaking specifically about the people who like want to cancel him. I think it's fair. Like he's a public athlete. He's in the public domain. He has a public podcast. I think criticism is fine. I'm just saying, like, maybe we don't cancel people. So I want to be clear on that. I could give a shit if people criticize him, but let's not cancel somebody's existence as a good person because of one lukewarm statement about Trump. That's all I was saying.
Well, that, and I think too, he's representing his employer. So right before the Super Bowl, it's probably
and the owners are Trump people. His quarterback is a Trump person, probably. I think Mahomes is. His wife certainly is. Butker's on the team. Andy Reid is a Mormon who I would imagine is also pretty conservative. Yeah, he's around Trump people. I thought the fact that he was lukewarm was a little bit refreshing for that team.
So Billy Wright, he's in the chat. He said he wanted me to let you know that the Democrats were blocked from entering the Department of Education just a bit ago.
Who blocked them?
I don't know, but that's what he sent me in a message.
What? Let's see. Let me go to Twitter. Who would have blocked them?
Security? I don't know.
Okay, who's up next? I'm gonna pull this up.
Trad, T-Rad, are you here? If you're here, come back and to the voice chat. Brother Bob, do you need more time? John, go ahead.
Yeah, give me a couple more minutes. One more person. I'll be home soon.
Okay, John.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
All right, cool. I just wanted to do my weekly shout out and props to you both. I'm loving being on Twitch. I'm a subscriber through the Amazon Prime and a subscriber on YouTube as well. Always got the YouTube running too to help you guys with the revenue. And I just wanted to come up here and say thank you because I also have a special needs son, 8-year-old with autism who's nonverbal. And that's tough, man. It's a tough life, and listening to you guys every day brings me some joy and helps me stay sane because, like I've said before, my family are all Trumpers, and so it's tough. So thank you for doing all that you guys do. I appreciate y'all.
You're muted, Jay.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for saying that. One of my best friends lives nearby. Just as a daughter, she's 3. I think she was just diagnosed, or maybe 4, just diagnosed with autism nonverbal. And dude, that's it's so much. So amazing that you're going through that and showing up every day for your child. That is incredibly difficult. It's draining. It consumes your life. So all the respect in the world for all that, and thank you for the kind words. But you're a hero. That's a lot to deal with.
Thanks. I appreciate the kind words, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks, dude.
I'll see you guys on Monday.
Yeah, we'll see you Monday. Thank you.
All right. Brother Bob, are you back?
Yeah, I'm in my neighborhood. Hey. What's going on, guys?
Just hanging out, waiting for Brother Bob. That's it.
I'm your union bro from Chicago.
Oh, welcome.
Just so you know. But so hey, I got something I wanted to say. I was listening to Mr. Facts Still Matters, Steve's live yesterday, and he was talking about the Department of Labor.
Okay.
And that if they start really going after that unions, like we as union members need to talk to our representatives about going on strike. And what I tried to explain to him was, and I was talking to one of my buddies who's a business agent at my union hall. And I don't know how all unions work, all locals work, but ours has a no strike clause. And if your local union has a no strike clause, and even if you don't, I would highly recommend calling the AFL-CIO or your international union and let them know that you support a general strike. And if they call a general strike coming down from the IO or the AFL-CIO, that all trade unions will follow suit and go on strike. So if anyone in chat's listening and they're a part of a union, and I would call the AFL-CIO and just let them know that you support a general strike.
We're with you too.
That's all I wanted to say.
Look, there's enough of union folks that you guys can shut the country down going on strike, and you better believe that would get the attention of Trump and these fucking psychos that are. Look, I think it's going to happen. I think you guys are going to go on strike. I think they're going to try. So we're
I
here
hope
with
so.
you.
I'm in full support of it. My wife's sped teacher in the union, and I got a kid who's got an IEP right now, and it's going to affect my family greatly, that everything he's doing with Project 2025. So and I know there's millions of people that are going to be affected by this, and I'm just one guy, but we all need to start stepping up and doing our part, if you already haven't. So
well, I appreciate that. We're with you, but thank you for standing strong.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thanks for everything you guys do.
Be well.
All right, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
You're muted, Charles. You have to unmute your mic.
Oh, hello. I didn't even know I was on there.
What's up, Charles?
Hey.
Who taught you how to use a computer?
I'm a hotshot truck driver. I drive all the time and listen to you, just listening. I'm not using a computer.
Oh,
I've got you on hands-free. Man, I've been listening to a long time for you. Man, you make me feel better about myself. You've taught me so much stuff, taught me how to be a better person. Man, I just love listening to your show. I listen all the time. Sometimes I can't get on live because I'm in and out of the truck.
Yeah.
So I just listen on YouTube and pause it. But yeah, man, I love everything you guys do, man.
Thanks, brother.
I can't believe this stuff is happening in this country. And, my wife is she's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, everybody needs to talk about it. Everybody.
Yeah.
If you imagine that it's gone, it still don't go away. Just because you ignore it, it don't go away. So,
yeah.
Man, just keep it up. You guys are great.
Thanks,
man. I love you too, Jen. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, you can kick me. I didn't know I was on here. I'm just listening. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Charles. Keep the wheels on the road, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see it.
I think Illusion came back, and Billy, Billy sent me a DM saying you can't talk because you're at work. I don't know if you can or not. Hello.
I thought I was just watching the stream.
Oh no, you're in the BC.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Good talking to you. Enjoy work.
All right, Illusion, you back?
Finally back. Yep.
That's right.
All right.
So yeah, I know the audio isn't great, so I just wanted to say
way better this time.
Okay. I've been beating my head against the wall, as you can see. They don't really like losing arguments much on the right, and I'm still engaged on TikTok every once in a while, though I know you've moved away from them because it's
Bitches.
insert swear words.
The word is bitches. Yeah, they're bitches.
You got it. You got it. So I just wanted to say, like, I know you got a lot of shit that you do, and I saw that you popped in to help me dunk on one of the idiots. So I appreciate you, man.
You got it.
You are the reason that I scream at my devices until all hours of the night after my kids have gone to bed.
Oh no!
And thank you very much for that. You guys want to say thank you to him? No, they're just silent. But my boys are here. They hear me screaming all the time, thanks to you. So
what's up, boys?
Keep up the good work.
Probably don't appreciate that.
You got a good, you got a good dad, boys.
Hey, thanks, bro. That's really nice.
Yeah.
That warms my heart.
Good.
Take care.
You too.
Love you, Jen. Bye.
Jesus.
Is that it, Jen?
Right. We've got Mama Rara.
Mama. Hey.
Mama, you there?
It sounds like she's trying to talk, but it's oh, maybe not. That was you, probably. Mama Rara.
You're muted right now. Oh,
there we go.
Almost.
We heard a noise. Oh, your connection's bad. We can't hear you.
Here, come back. All right. Cam, you're back.
Gummy bear's back around.
Just if I could butt in just real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are you. It's a. I went in down to a kind of a tiny rabbit hole the other day about pens. Like pens. Did you know you can order the same model of pen that Joe Biden used to sign all his stuff? Did you know about that?
I did not know that.
So apparently there's a whole thing about like, the certain presidents use certain pens and they're like luxury pens. But I actually ordered
the cross. His was like the cross model. Pen, right?
Yeah, the Cross Century 2.
All right. How much does one of those babies cost?
$80.
Jesus. This is one of those places where Trump's a man of the people, because that motherfucker's using a Sharpie.
Yeah,
I was waiting for a joke. I
did too. I thought he was gonna. I was like, "How's this gonna relate to the 49ers?" I thought you.
That was what I was waiting for.
Yeah. No, I was just. I would just share that I ordered the same pen that Biden uses, so I'm excited for it to come because I hope it's like a fucking freaking Cadillac to pen right with.
I'm looking at it. It looks nice.
Because you know how sometimes you use a pen and you're like, "Oh God, yes."
No,
like it writes so smoothly.
No, I've never had that experience.
No, you never had that where you're like, God damn, this pen just writes so smooth, and you're like, where did you get
pens that are like a 1.4 tip, like the ink? I have to have that.
So it's all about the tip.
Oh, okay,
that's what you're saying.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, just the tip.
Yeah. Also, another little I don't know topic you may be interested in covering looking at the different NFL teams and who they donate to, so you can.
No,
I don't know.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Go away. No,
I just saw somebody did a series on TikTok about it.
I don't want to look it up.
Okay.
Don't make me lose my team. That's all I've got left.
I was happy to read. I forget what the Niners. I forget the Niners, but I know my boy, despite being married into the Walton family, Rams donated heavily to Kamala over Trump, so it was nice.
I'm happy for the Rams. Good job, Rams.
Yeah, I forget which teams, but anyways, I'll let you go. You guys.
Hi, brother.
I'll catch you later.
Let it go. All right, I'm gonna try it again.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. I was trying to do hands-free and I decided to just put in my earbuds instead. So I just wanted to say thank you to both of you for giving us space to be upset and like let emotion out where like I grew up Mormon, so like you repress everything, right?
Yeah.
And it's super refreshing to hear empathy. And I know that probably sounds crazy, but like it's so refreshing to hear. Like I have a child with special needs as well. He is on an IEP, and it's just it's frustrating.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've only dealt with it like recently, just with other friends, and it's I
it's
honestly
exhausting.
every time I talk to my friend, I was talking to him last night. And it's just I'm like, I don't know how you do. Like he's got a nonverbal child, and then his wife got COVID, and then his child got COVID, and then he got COVID, and then his wife got pneumonia, and then his child got pneumonia, and now and I'm just like, my daughter had like an ear infection. It was the worst weekend of my life. I don't know. I mean, the level of what you have to go through every day and wake up to every day and fight every day, like it's something that I never understood, certainly until I was around it. And yeah, like if anybody deserves a break, it's people with children who require a lot of attention, and this administration ripping that away is one of the most heartless, inhumane things I could imagine.
Yeah. And it's just I think that honestly, like I have become a lot more liberal as my child has grown, because he's actually in high school now, so he is a little bit older. But I am to the point now where I understand the level of advocacy that you really have to have with your children. And I know that like people will shit on me for advocating for my child who is a teenager. However, like I also know what it's like to go through the schooling system without having anyone advocating for me.
Yeah.
So I don't
If
know.
you have an issue with you advocating for your child, they can eat an entire bag of chips.
Oh yeah, with
So,
like covered in glitter, you know.
Oh,
yeah.
it's adorable.
Glittery dips for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So, anyways, I just wanted to say thank you for giving that space. So,
yeah,
have a great weekend.
Literally the least we could do. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, bye guys.
See ya.
JT.
What's up, JT?
Hey, Jay.
Hey.
Hey. I just was trying to think of a joke, and God bless Cam. He brought up the pen stuff, and I actually was looking up. I found what pen Trump actually uses.
What is it?
It's the large crayon, isn't it? The big old large crayon.
No, it's called the penitentiary.
Stupid.
Okay, that's all.
All right, see ya. Stupid.
See ya.
Is that everybody, Jen?
Yeah, I think so. There's someone like that I know that lives in Utah that they're Trumpers, and their child is on the spectrum, and they've listened to RFK, they've listened to like all that kind of stuff, and it's so sad to see that they won't get their child any help because they want to believe like all the bullshit. It's just to me, it's so sad.
Yeah, if they just give them enough broccoli, it'll go away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like ignoring it doesn't make it go away, and it's, in my opinion, it's harming their children to not get the resources. But yeah, no, that's it for me. Just want to remind everybody about you can subscribe to us on Twitch with your Amazon Prime sub, or if you want to do it otherwise, that works too. And we've got memberships on YouTube. We're trying to get to 500 between the two platforms, so we can do a calendar, an RTB calendar. So we're on our way. We're not quite there yet. So if we can do that, and then I know we wrapped up the gift goal, so thank you guys all for doing that. And if you guys want to invite to Discord, any mod can get you an invite to it. If you want to DM me on Discord, it's Jen, JENN DUBB, the number 1. And what do you call headphones that walk out on their children?
I don't know.
Deadbeats.
I have some deadbeats in my storage. Let me read some comments and then we'll get out of here. Michelle says, don't know if you talked about it, but in Indiana, a blind man got a handgun license. I was unaware of that. That doesn't sound safe. Marlene says, I don't know how to call in for Friendly Friday, but I'm here. Love you. Marlene, if you're in Discord, shoot Jen a message. She can tell you how to do it. But you have to be in Discord. Jamar says, "Oh, I read that one. That was the Black Dicks comment, which was glorious. That's just it. He just wrote Black Dicks. That was it. And I think I got all of them. Yeah. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys on Monday and every weekday, 9:30 a.m. to 1 Pacific Standard Time, right here on Twitch and on YouTube, and sometimes on TikTok when they get their shit together. I just want to tell you guys thank you, honestly, from myself and from Jen, bottom of our hearts. It was nerve-wracking to switch platforms, and the amount of support that we've had, the amount of you that are sharing it. I go on Blue Sky all the time. I see myself tagged in your videos when you're sharing the links. We appreciate it. Literally every single day that we've been on Twitch and YouTube, we've grown. And that tells us a couple of things. One, we have an incredibly supportive group of people here with us, and two, that the message is appreciated, and that what we're talking about every day maybe is just different enough that people are paying attention. So I appreciate all you guys, not only for your support, for the amount of hours that you've put in watching the show, for the kind comments we get all the time. I'm the worst at following up with those comments, and I know there's thousands of DMs that I have yet to respond to and probably won't. Just know that if I did respond, I would tell you that I love you and I appreciate the support. It's incredibly humbling. It's weird to know that other people show up to listen to you talk every day, and so I appreciate that. To the research team, none of this would be happening if I didn't have an awesome group of researchers who consistently were bringing stories to my attention, helping me helping explain things to me that I don't understand, and finding new stories that I wouldn't have come across on my own. To the moderator team that have been with us through a lot of shit. Both our TikTok mods who are here now as moderators and our moderators in the Discord. Thank you guys so much. For everybody in the Discord, I love you. Everybody that's here, I don't know if I love everybody here yet, but we'll find out. I just want to tell you thank you. It means a lot to me. It's humbling. I appreciate it, and we're gonna keep doing this, and hopefully in a couple of years, like, we're just covering fun stuff. Hopefully we're not still doing this shit, but stick with it. Protect your peace. Find like-minded people around you that you can be around and share your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings. It's important. It's maybe more important now than ever. But take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys on Monday. Stay cute and cool. Have a great summer. And I think that's it. See you guys.